Hello. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Did that effect happen for you as well, Kuva?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, the video just kept stuttering. Anyway, hello, welcome. What a way to start a show. Hello and welcome. I'm Savva from Savva Talks Football, joined as always by Kuva99. Kuva, how are you? Are you feeling good today?
Oh, absolutely raring to go. Saw the lineup and I was just skipping down the street.
Yeah, are you are you confident for tonight before we look at the teams?
How can you not be confident?
Yeah.
Dyer and Sanchez in the back line, that has got comfortable win with a clean sheet written all over it.
Well, look, before we do anything, welcome to everyone in the chat. Hope you are well, and we'll find out who's in the chat in a minute. For anybody in the chat, the Tottenham team, I'm sure you've all seen it, is Fraser Forster in goal. We've gone for this amazing back five of Sessegnon, Longley, Sanchez, Dyer, and Doherty, with three holding midfielders in Basuma, Højbjerg, and Skip, a left wing back up front, and Harry Kane. Kuva, were you expecting any different? Were you expecting to see a Jed Spence, a Brian Hill, a Papa Sarr, somebody to play against Nottingham Forest that doesn't normally get a game?
No, to be honest. I was hoping for it. I think a lot of us were thinking, you know what, why not give Hill a run out? Why not give Jed Spence a run out? I think anybody that seriously understands how the club operates will realise League Cup is not really much of a priority. So it was a prime chance to do it. Save the big guns for the game on the league game, because that is the most important one for this pushing forward. At the end of the day, money talks, and Champions League football is a must for next season.
But with that in mind, then, if this isn't the priority, if the Champions League is and getting top four again, if this cup isn't the priority, and even if it was the priority, why are we not able to see a Jed Spence, a Brian Hill, Papa Sarr? Why are we not able to see any of them tonight? I mean, we're talking about the difference between Royal, Doherty, and Jed Spence. Is there really a big difference? Couldn't we have seen Papa Sarr instead of Skip? You know, couldn't we have seen Brian Hill instead of Perisic playing with Kane? I'm just a bit baffled how we never play any of these other players.
I think it's a case of balancing it. We want to give ourselves a little bit of a chance of going through to the next round. We don't want to completely just throw the game away. Otherwise, might as well have brought the youth team squad. I think there's certain makeups of the team that Conte will be okay with. There's others where he might just think it's a little bit too raw, with somebody who's a little bit too inexperienced or not on form, and he can't leave it all that way. That's why I think Skip, who's coming in quite rusty, needs a bit of help from Højbjerg there. Get him through the game. I think it's a big game for him, really, Skip, because he's way down the pecking order at the moment. Just not his own fault. It's just that injury layoff has cost him a lot, hasn't it? But you look for the team, all of those places. Hill has overall on his Tottenham career has not really done a lot. Couple of glimpses in the last couple of games, but coming on as sub. We know what Perisic is all about. He can deliver a killer ball. He's capable of scoring goals as well, even though he hasn't so far, puzzlingly. But
I mean, the thing for me is this, right? Is I was just speaking to Pete from North London is about this, and I said I understand if we play. For example, if we take Jed Spence, for example, I understand if we had a top quality right wing back and the drop off was from there to there. But we're talking about the drop off from Royal, who played on Sunday, to Jed Spence. Is there even a drop off? I fail to believe. I fail to believe if you played, isn't it? Right, exactly. I fail to believe if you or I played there, Kuva, we'd be a drop off from Emerson Royale.
I think might.
No, I don't know. I reckon I've got it. I reckon if I had my fitness, I reckon I've got it. I think he's that bad.
Well, you speak for yourself. I'll be spent by the time I get out of the tunnel.
What, like Ndombele? You got the fitness of Sungai?
Worse than Ndombele.
I mean, let's look at the game. Look, the team is the team. And for anyone who cares, the Nottingham Forest lineup is thusly: it is Wayne Hennessy in goal, Serge Aurier at right back, Worrell, Bolly, and Lodi finished the back four. Yates, Mangala, and O'Brien, with Lingard playing off of Awoniyi and Sam Surridge. With all due respect, and I keep saying this about teams we play that are lower down the table than us. If we can't bring in some of these so-called reserve players to play against Yates, O'Brien, Surridge, Aurier, Worrell, no disrespect to those players, but mate, something's going wrong. We've got to win tonight, right? Now with the team we've put out, we've got to go through.
Yeah, obviously, it's not going to be straightforward though. It's quite a hostile atmosphere to go with the Forest at home. The crowd really get up for it. So yeah, I think on paper you'd say, yeah, of course we've got to do it. But I mean, the other way of looking at it was Forest. They might be looking at it nothing to lose here. Expected to go out. Pressure's off. Just go for it. Sometimes it works in your favour. All the pressure is definitely on us, not them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the thing for me, Kuva, when I look at this is if we go out tonight having picked that team, doesn't that completely blow the theory of not being able to have played any of the others, any of the younger players? I mean, I don't know. I'm just baffled. I'm really baffled as to what is happening at this football club at the moment. And I know that seems weird because we are fourth in the table, but it just feels that the football's dropped off. All of a sudden now, we can't. Everyone said we built a squad. We've gone and got loads of squad players, and yet we're still seeing the same players over and over again. Kuva, what is going on? Put it into sentences that I understand.
Trust. That's it.
That's right.
Can leave it at just that. Conte knows what he wants, and he'll pick the players that he thinks are most able to fill each of those roles. If he thinks that something's more lacking on one player to another, it's that simple. He'll pick the one he thinks is going to do the job. I don't think he believes in a lot of these squad members.
Yeah.
In fact, he's quite clear he doesn't. So he goes with the tried and trusted. That is what he's always done, though. So he's had success doing this. It gets his favoured players in, plays them week in, week out. Minimal changes when possible. We're just not sort of in that sort of state where we've got enough fit players to do that at the moment. So when we scrape in the bottom of the barrel, he prefers to pick the dregs we have got rather than just going with the unknown.
I hear you. Just quickly, Jack Taylor, big up. It has been a while. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. And further down, he has said, why is it called Savva Talks Football, not Savva Talks Spurs? I like talking all football. So it will always be mainly a Spurs channel, but I just love being able to do the England games, Champions League games, different clubs as games and competitions progress without Spurs. I want to be able to cover those as well. Let's talk about how this game's going to go, Kuva. I just left a voice note. I'm sure you heard it in one of our chats where I said, I believe this game will be Forest will come out flying, put us under loads of pressure. We won't do very well first half. Then we'll bring on Bentancur and Kulusevski. The performance will pick up. We might sneak a win or a draw. And all of a sudden, Conte's a tactical genius.
Wow, I've seen this happen before.
Yeah, I don't know why I've got that feeling. Is there any way which I'm wrong and we're going to go out there and we might be 2-0 up at half time and we're all like, wow, where's this come from?
Yeah, of course there is. They can't. This sort of style of doing things, it can't go on forever, can it? I mean, eventually we're going to play well in the first half. So perhaps the shake-up of team is what's needed. Although I keep looking at that defence thinking, nope, it's not happening tonight. More a case of, are we going to hang on till half-time?
I mean, if you're Steve Cooper, just now, just before they came out onto the pitch, what's the last thing you're saying to your team going up against Tottenham Hotspur?
Enjoy. Enjoy it. Just relax. Just enjoy it. There's no pressure at all.
I'm telling them, Spurs are fragile in first halves. Spurs are fragile at the back. Go and attack them. Get loads of balls into the box. Target Dyer. Target Sanchez. Yeah, and just pepper their goal. That's all I would do. You've got a new keeper in. Well,
don't be scared of being creative. Don't be scared of being adventurous. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep the high press on as well. That's almost a given playing us now, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, if I was a manager of any club, I would just tell them, go at Spurs. First off, go at Spurs. They take forever to get going. Don't go too high up the pitch. I would say don't leave massive gaps in behind, but just go at them and
go at us first half, and then just sit 2 players on Harry Kane for the second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do it.
Absolutely. Wayne Holland's in the chat. Big up to Wayne Holland. Big up to Luan, who's in the chat. Man United fan, of course. We've got Liverpool fans. We've got Ronan O'Donnell. Welcome. Phil P, thank you very much for the super chat. He's putting out a missing person poster for Jed Spence. I mean, it makes you laugh, doesn't it? It wasn't just one window chasing after him. It was the window before as well, if I'm right. And he's nowhere to be seen. George Raffis, again, the subject is Jed Spence. Thank you so much for the super chat. He said, I don't get what Spence has to do to get a chance. I'm with you. I think most Spurs fans are at that stage now where Doherty's not played well. Royal is not a real footballer. What could be the worst that happens? I can't imagine.
I think for me, maybe Conte's reasoning is that if we were a mid-table team, no chance of top 4 qualification, or Europe's out of the window, I think it'd be a much more relaxed sort of feeling. We'd see Jed Spence getting some game time. But because the pressure is on in literally every match, Conte's just going with the sort of characters and the faces he knows that have been through this before from last season. So,
do you truly believe that? Do you truly believe that he thinks that Jed Spence can't offer something different to the other 2?
Oh, I think he believes he will offer something different. I think he's just worried about him making the mistakes, sort of fundamental mistakes. He's always been very protective of bringing really young players through. It's not too often that Conte does it. He does like to have experienced players generally.
I'm just seeing if I can get a link, by the way. I'm just trying to see.
I've forgotten.
You know when you have to scout around the internet to try and find. I've gone to Satanta Event 18 on my IPTV Smarters app, but I'm not getting anything. Anyone got a good stream for it? No, I can't get anything.
I'll tell you in a second.
I'm getting live events. If you get one, send it to me, please, Kuva.
Yeah, this is a good bit of live streaming we're doing now. Hunting for channels.
Hunting, yeah. I mean, everybody, look in the chat. Tell me, tell me this: would you have liked to have seen Spence start over Doherty? Would you have maybe liked to have seen some youth players on the bench? Maybe some players from our under-23s or under-21s. Maybe a Jamie Donnelly. Maybe an Alfie Devine. Are any of these types of players that you would like to see? Are you surprised there's not even any youngsters on the bench, Kuva? Like there's no one from the youth team. There's nothing, like no young strikers, no young wingers. It's Forest, dare I say it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can't do it in this sort of game, when can you? So
right. That's what I don't get. The Zone EPL 2. I know this is what I'm looking for now. This is all good fun. Has anyone in the chat got streams? Is anyone looking at streams? The Zone.
I suppose overall though, Conte's going to be a case of he's got to try and get through the game, try and get through to the next round. So whatever works, if it works, you've got to say, done his job. If it doesn't work, you're going to question it, aren't you?
I'm questioning it even if it works. I'll be really, really honest. My worry is this: we're about to have 4 competitions, assuming we stay in this, and we're not seeing any players other than the same 11 week in, week out. It's worrying me, mate. It's really, really worrying me. No, I've
Yeah,
got
it's was we keep talking about squad depth, don't we? Quality and depth. I mean, if we're questioning some of it, then Conte must be going spare behind the scenes.
yeah,
He must know some of these players are just not up to the job, but he can't. He's got nobody else to turn to.
yeah,
So eventually, you're going to have to rely on some of them in some games. Perhaps in some cases, like so Sanchez, can he step up and do the job when needed? It's instead of confirming himself as a complete cast off for the whole season. It's an important sort of test for a few of them. As I said though, for me, Skip's the one that's got the most to gain here. He really pushed himself into that pack of midfielders.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Ollie Skip, what do people make? Are you happy to see him back in the team? Last time he played, off from my memory, was the game we did. One of these was against Bournemouth, Kuva. And he was really poor. I mean, it wasn't just him. There were many poor people in the first half, and he was pulled. Bentancur came on, and the rest is history. I've got a feeling, I've not got a crystal ball, I've got a feeling we're going to see that again. I mean, are you expecting Bentancur will come on in the second half and change the game?
It's the pattern, isn't it? That's what we do. But let's have a game where it's goes a little bit more smoothly, shall we? You never know. I don't. It might just be a case of something clicks. Maybe Kane gets a penalty or something, and maybe we chip in with one bit of skill or something. It might be a 2-0 lead. Might change things, but if you put in money on it, you'd say we're going to play crap in the first half, and the big guns come on for the second half, like we're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, give me some score predictions, everyone in the chat. Let's hear some score predictions. I'm fully now about to give up on trying to find a stream. I have got to the end of my tether, so I will just watch the scores coming in on Sky Sports. There's lots of other games tonight, Kuva. So we've got the big one, which is Man City versus Chelsea. What do you reckon is going to happen there? I've lost you, Kuva. I've got no sound from you. Can everyone hear me?
Sorry, no, that was my fault.
Oh, Kuva, you can't do that to me.
No, it's got to be Man City, hasn't it? They're it's their trophy at the moment.
It is.
Chelsea are just not fitting things together properly yet. It's too early for Graham Potter to put out all of those pieces together. So many new players coming in as well. And Man City, well-oiled machine, two great strikers, create chances from everywhere. And they're a great side even without De Bruyne in the team. So, you're up against it when you're against City, aren't you? So, massive favourites. But you never know. Chelsea, they've got the players that can pull off that kind of grind out an incredible result. So,
well, and in better news, West Ham are losing at home to Blackburn, which is nice to see.
Always good.
I mean, look, this is, I suppose, the beauty of Sky Sports is we can see someone called Jack Vale has just put the ball through the keeper's legs, 1-0. Well done, Mr. Vale. I wonder if he's brothers with Port. Terrible joke. Guys and girls, okay, so we've got people are telling me all the links people are putting in. Every time I go to that link, it's Almeria versus Getafe. I don't know if anyone's winding me up. This is Almeria v Getafe. I don't know if Spurs are on after.
Probably best not to put links in the.
Yes, I'm not going to. I mean, no, these are free. If you if you've got an app like an IPTV Smarters app, it's free. So so that's all well and good. Guys and girls, does anyone? Let's be honest. Does anyone see us having a chance of winning this trophy? If we're saying that in the first round we're playing in against Nottingham Forest, we can't even rotate, have we got a chance of winning it, Kuva? I know you're going to say, well, yeah, there's always a chance, but realistically.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
You know why not. Come on, you know why not.
We're just got to avoid the obvious losses to start with. If we can get through to the later stages, then couple of players in, might turn things about. Few people back from injuries. It is only cup games after all. It's not like you're going head to head in a best of 40 with Man City, is it?
Yeah, no, I know that. I can't imagine playing Man City at the moment. You know, I'm actually really grateful our game against Man City was called off, because I'm watching Bournemouth go 2-0 up against us. I'm watching Man United looking like Brazil. I'm watching, Liverpool suddenly looked brilliant again in the first half. I can't imagine what Man City's forwards and Erling Haaland in particular would do to that back three. Can you?
Nah, it's pretty horrific thought, isn't it?
It is.
Haaland alone is just a goal machine. He's got the pace as well as the skills and the physique to do damage to any of our centre backs. You wonder who would actually stand up to him.
I've just seen on Sky Sports News they've just clipped to our game calamity. So for anyone who's not seen it, there was no danger at all. Somehow a player kind of barged through our three centre backs. Fraser Forster left the ball because he didn't think he thought it was going out. It's hit the post, bounced back. Their player's diving header, and Forster's tipped it away. It's just calamity. And something I wanted to talk to you about, Kuva, is lots of people say that he plays the three at the back, because he doesn't. I know it's his formation, but that he doesn't trust playing a back two, so he plays a three for safety in numbers. My math doesn't work like that. For me, I feel that playing three poor players at centre back just means one more extra person in there who isn't very good and is going to cause errors. Is there any merit in that? I mean, how do you see it?
You've got to go with quality, haven't you? It's if you got three decent midfielders, you can put ahead of them. Those central defenders probably would play with the two. I don't see why not. It's not like we're gaining any safety from having the third player, is it? The whole idea was supposed to be Dyer as the spare man at the back, but it just looks like a spare wheel, really, doesn't he?
I just don't get why you couldn't, like when Romero's fit, play Romero and Longley. See if you can get some sort of a partnership, because there's teams lower down the league that play a four, right? That don't have excellent centre backs. I mean, for example, if you look at Everton, now I'm not saying Everton are great, but the partnership already that Cody and Tarkowski have built, whenever I watch them play, they defend they defend like they love defending. And yet, I remember saying in the window, I take both of them at our club, and I was laughed at. Wouldn't take them.
God, yeah.
Laughed at.
Yeah, even the likes of Lewis Dunk, you just want somebody. You need somebody that's going to stop the thing going in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Skriniar, but because I didn't think he'd be a good enough ball player. But he's an out-and-out defender. He's a stopper, and I don't see anybody like that we've got at the moment. Yeah, it's just do it all properly. You really have to work to get past him. Replace Dyer with somebody like him. I think we're instantly looking a lot better.
So I've just seen in the Spurs game, every time that Joby McAnuff's doing our game on Sky, every time they go to him, I'm just expecting to see Forest 1-0. The cross has come in, good cross actually, missed all our defenders, and then Sessegnon's kind of put it out, but it's kind of hit there. Do you know what I mean? And he's kind of shuffled it out, and it's one of those. It's like watching. I mean, I like scary movies, but when people watch a scary movie and every time the music goes on, they go, no.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with our defending. Is anyone watching the game? If anyone that's got a really good stream, I don't want the stream. I'm not asking for that live on the stream. I'm just saying, how are we playing? Because every time they go to Joby McAnuff, it's Forest attacking our goal. Are Sky not showing our attempts? Have we had any attempts? Have we had any possession? With that 11, though, Kuva, are you expecting possession?
You'd say so. I mean, what if... not again. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We've got you.
That's right. Yeah, we've got the players for it, haven't we? I mean, it's not like we're playing, short of 2 men and hanging on for dear life. 3 players in midfield, that's a lot of players behind the ball. Surely you can actually get hold of it for a bit, can't you?
You think
Especially since if you're going to be playing lightweight up front with just Kane and Perisic behind it, you can't just keep pumping it into them and expect results all the time. So we're going to have to actually build these attacks. So yeah, where's it coming from at the moment?
Kuva,
No shots yet.
Look at some of these comments, right? No shots yet. We're getting battered. Got the zone in Canada. We're playing terrible. Spurs fans might as well skip the first half. None on target, 1 off. We're getting battered. I'm watching. It's all Forest, shambolic. Forest just corners, no threat. I mean, what do you, mate? I just
talk about the other games, shall we?
Yeah, I'm just debating. I'm debating at 8 o'clock. Do I go over and watch Man City Chelsea? That's the thing.
Is there any Love Island or something like that?
I mean,
no, it's not that bad.
Why do you do it to yourself? Like, not only do you put yourself through the torture, but you also have a YouTube channel dedicated to the torture.
You know what, mate? I was thinking of calling in sick tonight and not doing this.
I would have needed a GP note if that's the case, Cooper. I would have needed something. But,
yeah, fair.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, look, we're, I've got a stream, but it's bitty, and every time we get the ball, we look so hesitant. Like, I mean, you've got Basu. I don't get it. Højbjerg's brilliant for Denmark, right? Basuma's been brilliant in the league for years. How is that How is that 2 not function? How are we not? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
It's just a broken up team, isn't it? I mean, a lot of these, the lineup tonight it's not what we'd be putting out normally, is it? It's purely down to injuries. It's like looking this strange. Kane with Perisic floating around behind him just doesn't look right at all, does it? Not on any level. It
doesn't. But then when you look at that Forest 11, this is why for me there can be no excuses tonight that find hot girls here. Whoa, hey! Let's get rid of you straight away. I get it, right? I'm not saying this is the greatest team, but when I match us up against Forest's 11, can there really be any querying? If we lose this can't just be everyone just wants to blame Daniel Levy for everything. This can't be a Levy thing. The 11 we've got out has got to be beating Nottingham Forest.
Oh, I think I've got the link with Spanish commentary.
Oh, lovely. Send it through then, Kuva. Don't be this guy. Don't be that guy.
It's really bad link.
Oh, don't. I mean, every link someone's telling me, right, is not the Spurs game. I don't get what's going on. I'm going to BN Sports. BN Sports.
No, this is definitely the Spurs game.
Have you sent it to me?
No, I'm just about to. We got a lovely, horrible away kit on again.
Oh.
Everything about this is unwatchable.
Yeah. Hang on, where is it? Oh,
right, God, mate.
Right. Does Kuva's link work, everybody? Yeah, I mean, I like that. John Ellishaw said, but Forest have 147 players. That's do.
True.
To be fair to them, they can only play 11 at once. And if you're going to go by that, we've actually got loads of players. We just don't ever play any of them.
Yeah, true.
How are you making that link work?
Just go to it.
There isn't a go to it. Oh, no, I think his goal was discontinued.
It's probably your security settings or something, maybe.
Oh, mate, it's all right. Do you know what? It doesn't sound like I'm missing a lot anyway. So, I mean, from that point of view, I just wish we could have. Am I still doing my midweek show with Henry? Not at the moment. We've both got a lot on at the moment. Both got a lot of streams going on, but we are going to be doing some bits together soon. So fear not, that will be happening. It would have just been lovely for it to just flick up on Sky Sports 1-0, 2-0, and you think, done, right, we're done. But no,
Hey, we're not losing yet.
We're not. That's good. Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, I've got my live events that says number 4, Forest versus Spurs, and then I go to it and it's bloody basketball. that sums. If anything was Spursy, it's that.
I just watched Davinson Sanchez do a proper tackle. I mean, I'm telling you, we're on fire.
Oh, dearie me. Right, you know what? I'm going to give up with the Spurs game. I've got the scores coming in on the screen. I've got Man City. I'm going to put Man City and Chelsea on my Sky. Is it Sky that Man City are on?
Ooh, good question.
Anybody? Can anybody tell us? Man City on Sky Go, Man City Chelsea.
Man City Chelsea's on Sky.
On Sky. Well, I'll go to my Sky Go app then, won't I? In this day and age, I'm outraged that every game is not on TV. Just outraged, I tell you.
I don't know why they don't just do it so you can just subscribe to a football club.
I agree. I completely agree with you. I agree with you. Well, it looks like everyone says I'm a Man City fan anyway, so it looks like I'm watching Man City.
I'm a Man City fan too. How can you not love the way they play?
I'm not a Man City fan. I'm an admirer of how they play football.
Yeah, of course.
Right, let's get back to the show. I'm not going to look for it anymore. We've got so scores are. Celtic are winning if anyone cares. Shrewsbury are losing at home to Oxford, which is all very good. Rob Birch has said, "What's Man City and Chelsea game on?" It's on Sky. Then he's laughed, but it's true. SAH89 has said, disappointed we didn't play Spence, Sarr, Gill. Would rather see some of the players that never play. Forest are playing a B team. I mean, that's worrying. I think the difficulty is, Kuva, is Forest do have so many players that I don't know what their B team is. But, and sorry, I'm going to stop myself there, Kuva. As Arsenal have just taken the lead at home to Brighton. They're just showing the goal. Whoever this is running with a ball, I think it might be Reece Nelson. Slipped in and Nketiah. Can't knock him. Great finish. Good finish.
That's another one seems to have come through for them. Reece Nelson, doesn't it?
I think it was Reece Nelson. I looked up and it was just all happening very fast. But he came on the other week and got a brace. It does go to show that, you know, sometimes the youngsters do surprise you. Sometimes.
Where are ours?
Mate, I mean, let's talk about our academy. What is going on with our academy? Why are we not bringing through anybody?
Well, I remember having a conversation with somebody on another channel months ago, and they had been round to several academies taking their son to try and get into these different places.
Yeah.
And they said the Spurs Academy was absolutely miles behind the likes of Everton, Man City, United, loads of other top division teams.
Yeah.
You just thought, why is that? It's because it's like a non-priority thing. It's almost like Levy wants to use it as a sort of make a bit of extra money on the side, selling players on for, coming straight out of the academy rather than looking to get them into the team. So we've got these cookie cutter mold players coming out. It's you almost put money on the next one being a defensive midfielder as well, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we look at the long list of players that have come out of our academy in the last 10 years, other than Harry Kane, right? You've got we had Nabil Bentaleb, right? Sideways passing midfielder. Ryan Mason, sideways passing midfielder. Tommy Carroll, sideways passing midfielder. Winks, Skip. It seems like this is what we do. But to go to your point about what your mate said about watching Spurs' youth team, every time I see a Spurs youth result come through, we're losing to like everyone. We're just losing and getting battered by everyone. it doesn't bode well, does it? Now, all right, people will always say, well, we got Kane at our academy. That's great, but I feel like the other clubs always bring him through 2 or 3 at the same time. Always.
Yeah.
And I feel like, what are we? We're not. Do you know what I mean?
You just look at the quality of some of them coming through. I mean, Chelsea, for a start, that's an obvious one, isn't it?
Oh.
Chalobah and Reece James and Mason Mount, and it just keeps going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then you look more recently, and Liverpool, Harvey Elliott coming in. Look what a player he looks. Gooner seem to be doing it quite comfortably. There's no reason we're not, except for it seems like we're not geared up to do it for some reason.
And let's be honest, under Conte, you're not going to see youth players, are we? We're not. I mean, that's not.
It would take something phenomenal, wouldn't it? Absolutely exceptional talent to do it.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, he does like Skip, doesn't he? So there's hope, but I don't see it. It seems to be just a case of they'll get to the age of 18, out on loan they go, stay out on loan till they're 23. It feels like.
Yeah.
It's just other teams don't have a problem bringing their youth players through to the first team.
It just seems strange as well. And then like you watch Marcus Edwards like playing for Sporting, and you think he was ours.
Yeah.
You think he was ours. What are we? Why couldn't we have brought him through at that time? It's all. There was the other one that went to PSV. I want to say. Somebody was it Madueke or
Madueke? Oh, I've forgotten how to say it. Yeah.
Someone saying Forest nearly scored.
They did. Or just. Oh dear.
I mean, Apocalypse Now said we are absolutely shite to watch. Sheffield Wednesday have gone 1-0 up at Southampton. It's all going well for Southampton, isn't it, at the moment? But
yeah, things could be worse, couldn't they?
It could be, but it's all relative to who you are as a club.
Yeah, of course it is.
So when people say things to me like, "Oh, you should be grateful you're in the Premier League. I support a team in League Two." It's like, well. Okay, but that's not really. I'm not always just going to go. Oh, Spurs are brilliant because we're still in the Premier League. Man City are piling on pressure for fun against Man City, and Jack Grealish is pulling some strings
against Chelsea.
Sorry, who did I say?
Man City against Man City.
Well, listen, they could put 2 teams out, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could. Be better than ours.
EA, absolutely. I've got no doubt. I said before the game, and it's difficult without being able to view it, but I said before the game, I truly believe we'll do what we normally do, be poor in the first half, then Kulusevski and Bentancur will come on, and then I reckon we'll start seeing something different. I'm going to have one last attempt to try and get the game.
We've got a corner here, though.
I don't believe you. Right, where is my IPTV? Chef, if you're watching, can you WhatsApp me a stream, please? You know you are, Chef. He has already. Hang on. He's only come up trumps, hasn't he, the boy? He's come up trumps. Well done, Chef. Thank you for that. We've got a corner. Oh, I don't know, Kuva. I just don't know anymore. I just don't know. Right, I've got a stream for the moment. I'm in the 26th minute. Guys,
you're a bit ahead of me, I think.
I'm in 26:50.
Oh, you're about a minute and a half ahead of me. Don't worry about it, though.
Well, I mean, listen, I've got no doubt this stream will stop at some point.
I don't see you jumping out of your seat anytime soon.
Do you know what? I can't remember the last time Spurs made me jump out my seat. I was watching earlier on. I had in the background while I was working from home. I had Premier League years on Sky Sports, and it was the year that Ginola was at Spurs, and just watching him glide past players, and it just made me. And even then, I was like, "Oh, what?" Like, even though it was a replay, that got me off my seat. Chef, you are a legend. Thank you very much.
To be fair, that second half against Liverpool, we were pretty good to watch. I think just the sheer effort and the amount of chances being created.
We were, but again, it's all too late. That's the problem. It's all well and good saying, well, look what we did second half. The damage was done. Brighton have equalised, by the way, at Arsenal. Danny Welbeck, who used to play for
Nice.
us.
Yeah, he did,
Chev, you do not mess about. Apocalypse Now has said, who would have minded Gill playing with Kane and Spence? But yeah, mate, we talked about this as the stream started. I can't see the issue it would have been. I think Spence would have been well up for it at his old club. Nothing to lose. He'd be running at Lodi. Why not? Why not do that? But we've got a corner here. Tottenham have a corner. Big Davinson Sanchez is up there, Kuva. I mean, what more do you want? Big Davinson Sanchez.
He's got it in him to score goals. We've seen it before.
I mean, yeah, if you think so. Yeah, okay. We can.
I'd sooner see him up at that end than back at ours.
Perisic, Eric Dyer flicked one on from the corner and it went over the bar. Yeah, so as we are, Arsenal are 1-0. Southampton are losing 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Liverpool are 0-0 with Derby. Man City are 0-0 with Chelsea. And other than that, I don't think there's been any goals. Yet. 29-20. Okay, I'm about 10 seconds behind Birchie, so I'm sure he will let us know. Anyone got any idea what sort of an 11 Liverpool put out tonight at home to Derby? Anyone? I don't know if it's they're 0-0. Luan. Sorry,
they've got a lot of reserve players or youth in there.
Oh, for sure.
They have. It's hardly any first teamers. In fact, is there any? No, there isn't.
They put kids out.
Yeah, Joe Gomez is probably the most cap player they've got there. Otherwise,
they just flicked it up on the screen, a highlight, and I saw Gomez and Chamberlain, and not many others. So, hang on, Forest are on the attack. They've got the ball out wide. God, we're bad to watch, aren't we? I can only imagine, as I keep saying, if this was Jose. I can only imagine the uproar if this was Jose Mourinho football. Welcome to everyone.
What is the real difference?
I don't know. I'm really on it. I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me that Jose's a dinosaur. This is awful. So have a look. Sorry, Luan has said, please don't rage at me, lads. Oh, I think Kuva and I are so used to this now, mate, that he said, I just want to ask, what do you guys think that is possible for us to sign Kane, as we need a striker and Ronaldo is leaving? Let's talk about it, Kuva. I mean, look, 10 years ago, if Man United come in for Harry Kane, see you later, Harry. Is Man United the destination for Kane at this point? Whereas, let's be honest, if he leaves Kuva, it is surely to go to a club that are in a position immediately to lift a trophy, i.e. Munich, City, Madrid, those types of clubs. Are Man U that club?
I still think there's two big things that always come into these sort of discussions: how much the transfer fee would be and how much they're going to pay him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he's also, it's all well and good saying, he wants to win trophies, but you get offered $500,000 a week or something stupid, you're not going to go and turn it down, are you? We're limited playing career, so they could get him if they pay big. Especially since they'd be saving the money they're not spending on Ronaldo then.
How much difference would he make? When you look at it, the fact that they've already got Casemiro now, Christian Eriksen, they've brought in I'm missing one midfielder, Bruno Fernandes, you've got Anthony, add Kane to that, you've got Martinez and Varane at the back. 2 or 3 more players, and I really think Man U are going somewhere. And if Kane is one of them, I mean,
that's a focal point for their attack if they get somebody like Kane.
Yeah.
Well, they just need that cutting edge, really, don't they? Look,
they're going to have chances created for him, unlike us.
Yeah. That's it. He can rely on things that aren't just set pieces.
Right. Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. He wouldn't have to drop deep because when you've got Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen dropping deep, he wouldn't need to. I mean, look, Luan, it was a great question. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, money talks. If you come and stick 100 million in front of Levy in the summer, lots of ifs here. If Kane doesn't want to sign another contract with Spurs, I'm sure you'll offer him the money he wants. And if you can convince him that, sorry, Man City nearly scored from a free kick. And if you can convince him that the players you're bringing in, you can challenge Man City and you can challenge those bigger clubs, then why not? But look, for me, if I was Kane, be honest, Kuva, at the risk of upsetting people, if you were Harry Kane, are you really going to sign a new contract, even if Conte stays at this age? Are you really signing a new contract?
If Conte stays, it means we're bringing in some top quality signings. If that happens, yeah, you can stay.
But how long does that take? Because that's going to need to be top quality signings over a number of windows, right? That's not just going to be all in one window. So,
no, but one windows it could be enough to convince him to stay. Go see the difference in what we've been doing to what we're now doing. It comes down to that. It's that circular sort of thing, isn't it? Kane will stay if Conte stays. Conte will stay if he gets backed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I just wonder how much that's true, though. I'll be honest. If I'm Harry Kane, look, I'm going to remove my Spurs hat. If I'm Harry Kane, I'm going to look at this and go, all right, Conte signed a contract, but he's going to be 30 by the time Conte signs the contract in the summer. And he must be looking and thinking, I'm 30. How many more years is this project going on for? How many more years have I got in my legs? Do you know what I mean? Do I want to keep dropping deep and creating for myself? I don't know.
I feel like January's going to make things very clear for people.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you see us go? I mean, in terms of who do you reckon we could get that will appease Conte?
I have no idea, mate. I wish I did. This is what I'm worried about. All the big talk of, we'll sort everything out in January. And I'm looking at it thinking, we still can't sell players that we need to get rid of before we're buying more. Who are we going to get then? I just don't see anything happening. For me, that's going to make Conte's mind up, I think.
Yeah.
That we'll never be able to push for that further step. We're never going to get anywhere. Soon as that happens, Kane, is he going to want to stay then? No.
I just think, look, for me, I've said it a lot and people don't like me saying, hang on, Forest are in here. Hang on, they're in here. It's 1 second. They've got the ball. Oh, it's kind of broke down. He's whipping in the cross from the left. Corner kick to Nottingham Forest. My big thing is, I've said this all along. I don't think, and everyone keeps telling me 3-4 windows, Antonio Conte, I don't see him as a project type manager. I don't think he's ever been that wherever he's been, Kuva. He's always had ready-made top players available to him. And we're putting, I know everyone's saying he's a winner, but he's a winner at clubs where he had that. Is there any proof that he can build that? I'm not knocking him. I'm just asking, is there any proof that he can build that?
Debatable, isn't it?
Right.
Circumstances are always different. I don't know about it. I think it's just coincidental that he's not been at clubs this for any length of time. I've got the feeling he just wants to stay when he feels happy, when he feels like everybody's pulling in the same direction, and he doesn't feel any frustrations. As long as he's getting that, he's happy to stay. But Spurs are the club for that. I doubt it.
Yeah,
we'll just see. I mean, like I said, lots of people saying the same thing. January's going to make the picture a lot clearer for a lot of people. I don't buy into this. It'll be January and then massive summer again, because last summer was supposed to have been massive and it just wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that I'm not sure he's this project manager that everyone wants him to be. That's my only concern. So I hear all the time, he's elite, he's world class, blah blah blah. But again, I've never seen him build, and there are many managers that you won't see build, but for a reason, right? So I'm just not sure that I'm on the same train as other people, because I just don't feel that the film people are thinking they've seen with Conte isn't the film we're watching now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can't say we look like we're heading towards title contention, do we? You look at the way the defence and the wing backs in particular was addressed in the summer. You look at the way the players are being persisted with, contracts being renewed on players we thought should be going.
Yeah.
You can't believe the script's going to be the same for Conte at our club. It's looking like he's going to be underfunded, or not, even if it's not underfunded, it's the wrong sort of players brought in. Jed Spence, Udogie, neither of them featuring in the team. How much money is that spent that could have been on somebody to go straight in the team this season?
Absolutely.
We're always doing this, so I don't see it. I'm of the opinion he's going to leave in the summer as well. So
I've said that from day one. I've never believed that he's going to stay. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Listen, I'm old and ugly enough to turn around and say I was wrong. I mean, West Ham have equalised, by the way, at home to Blackburn. Pablo Fornals. I mean, I look at it like this. If we looked at James Hunter's point here, where he said maybe he wants to build something this time, that's all well and good, but he must be looking at this as a build and thinking, this isn't a quick build. This is a 3, 4, 5, 6 window build from my point of view. And as we've always alluded to, Kuva, when you get to that many windows down the line, now you've got to replace Kane and Son as well, and Lloris and Romero. What loyalty is Romero going to have to Tottenham if a bigger club comes in?
Yeah,
none.
Sure.
None for me.
Well, no. Why would he?
What exactly?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to do our best to do something with these players. For me, we've been at this sort of crossroads for a while. It's where is the direction we're going to take? Are we going to go with buying in ready-made players with a top manager like Conte and just go for it? I've seen no sign that that's what we're doing so far. Or are we going to get the young, sort of talented manager that wants to work with the youth setup, and you plough your resources into building a great academy? And I don't see that happening either. We're sort of halfway between each and doing nothing in a hurry. We've been like it for a long time now. I just want to see some consistent direction in the club. It became a joke talking about the club's DNA. We don't have it. It's been destroyed by this ownership.
Oh yeah. Any form of DNA is gone. I mean, look here. I'll say, Terry Wright. Sorry, I just can't see Spurs spending big in January, especially in the current market. I'm expecting a Malinowski in and Gill out window. Sadly, I agree. James has said, I don't think it's a 6-window build. We need a new defence and a creative midfielder. James, I don't think it's just that simple. When we're saying we need a new defence and a creative midfielder, as we said, what if Romero decides next year he wants to go? What if, Kane and Son aren't as good as they have been next year? What if we need to replace them? Yeah,
Hugo's retiring soon as well.
Hugo's retiring as well. So when we talk about this, we just need a new defence. For me, I feel this runs deeper. This runs. Everyone keeps saying, hang on, I'm going to put the link in just so you know. The link is for Pete. Please don't all try coming in backstage. I will not let you in without being horrible. Pete, there you go. There is the link. What was I saying? Yeah, Kuva, the thing for me is it's deeper than that. It's not we buy a defence suddenly with this great team. You've got to have a squad. We've then got to have, okay, if you buy a couple of centre-halves, we need another centre-half behind that as your understudy. You need another left wing-back that can play as backup next season to Udogie, for example.
Yeah.
You need 2 right wing-backs coming into this club because none of the ones we've got are good enough. You need 2 or 3 centre-halves. You need a couple of creative midfielders. I think this is a big, big, big project, and I cannot see this man sitting around and waiting for this at all.
I agree. Couple of centre backs, the creative midfielder, goalkeeper, or something. This is stuff we need just to catch up with where we should have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you build on top of it, and we're still looking at 8 or 9 players for a squad that's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
And the money would have already gone just catching up to where we should have been. We've squandered so much in recent years; it's unbelievable. The sort of half-researched sort of players, and Ndombele. Cursory glance around the internet, you could see he has problems with some of the teammates and managers at times. It's things you'd imagine they would have looked into. You don't get any report on what his temperament's like or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's just a bit of a gamble. Where are we going to fix it? I don't see it happening.
I can't as well. Big up, Pete. That's it, mate. You turn up eating some food. You know, you do what you got to do, mate. Make us jealous. Can you hear us?
Watching this bollocks.
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Pete, in terms of, the talk in the chat at the moment is about how many windows is it going to take to build? And this word build makes me laugh because build would suggest there's a plan, right?
Yeah. Or rebuild is even worse because there was something first.
Yeah, I never ever use the word rebuild. I mean, is he a build type manager, Pete?
No, and to be honest, I don't think I want another 3 more years of the national paint dry championships. I can't do it.
I agree. I mean, I said earlier, right? This is constantly what's thrown at me. I get people like Greg Spur in my YouTube channel always saying to me, just say it. You want Conte out, and
I will. I've done it.
Look, what I've said is this. What I've said is this: is if in this summer that's just gone, they had signed, instead of signing 7 players, they'd signed 3 or 4 top players that go straight into the team. A Skriniar, a Milenkovic-Savic, a James Maddison. You know where I'm going with this, right? I would sit there and go, I can stomach this football knowing what is coming. I get it. I see what we're doing. I can't stomach this football week in, week out when we're not buying those top players to play this kind of regimented football. Regimented football for me, you need top players to be able to play regimented football. I'd rather just see a manager now. I don't even know. I'd rather just see a manager
crying out for Harry Redknapp to come in and just give them a bit of license to play.
Sure.
The problem is if this was just the first time we've had this, it wouldn't be so bad. But we had a lot of it under Jose.
Yeah.
Whether we thought good or bad. Then we had similar under Nuno, and then now we got it again. It's like we need a change now. With the same sort of foot manager style, one way or the other, 3 managers in a row.
Yeah.
Ramos, Santini, even AVB was pretty boring with the tactics.
Yeah, but we've had 3 in a row now, haven't we? Of like Mourinho was get a lead, defend it. Some liked it, some didn't. It sort of depends on the game, but we did spring a good game now and again.
But again, it's
and at least he was top. At least he was top in December. At least he was going somewhere.
It's how everyone thinks. Like 2 centre backs. Keep Dyer and Davis. I don't want Dyer and Davis anywhere near this squad. Like how long are we going to keep Dyer and Davis? Keep Sanchez. Keep Dyer and Davis. New wing back and a creative mid can do that in 2 to 3 windows. The problem with this, James...
I can't wait, yeah.
The problem with this, James, is football... Pete, Kuva, football doesn't stand still. So whenever fans talk about how many windows it will take, we're talking as though nothing else will move. There's no other moving parts. Yeah. Everything stays the same. No player wants to leave.
By the time that's done, Kane and Son are gone. Right. There you go.
Right. And this is the big thing for me. So then the excuse will be, look what we've built. Levy's not bought him a top striker. But listen, we've squandered having 2 of the best forwards around for the last 7 years. We have not built around them to win things. I commend people like James. I commend because I don't know where they get the positivity from, and I wish I had it, guys. I wish I woke up every day and this Conte loving that I see from so many people, as though
it's like religion.
As though fans can see what he's doing. I can't. I don't know what we're watching. I think it's absolutely diabolical. Kuva, you know me. I'm probably pretty harsh. What's the main worry about a build for the next 3 or 4 years with Conte? Is the main worry that he could erupt at any point and just throw his toys out the pram and leave?
Yeah, I think so. Apart from the obvious that there won't be a rebuild for me, it's going to be it's going to be done on the cheap, isn't it? Always too many complications with not getting players out as usual. Can't make room in the squad. Can't justify the wages. All the excuses you like. It won't happen. Is Conte going to want to stay around for it? You say he's not a project manager, but it's going to take a special kind of patience to deal with that anyway, on the way we go about things. So no, he's not going to suffer with this lot, is he? If nothing major's happening in January for a start, you'd have to assume he's then being made massive promises about the summer.
I mean, but Kuva, we're at a stage, right? I mean, look, I'm just going to pick a selection here. Like Gideon Boots has said, I want Conte gone. This game has tipped the scales. Half time, it's pony. George says we're going out to a sucker punch. Alan Baffer Smith has said Conte out, most negative manager we've ever had.
No, I can think of worse.
I can think of worse, Kuva, but I can't think of worse negative managers we've had that have had some of the players Conte's got now. That's the difference for me. Like, so when people are always going, oh, Jose was a dinosaur, I'm like, okay, but Jose didn't have Longley, Romero, Perisic, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Basuma, and yet he was absolutely despised, Kuva. Get him out, dinosaur, this football is awful. Yet for some reason we believe that this football, we can see it. We see what's happening. I'm just not, I can't get on board with it, guys.
Thing is, I know we say, will Conte put up with that? To be honest, at the moment, I'm thinking, why should we put up with Conte? Because we get crap football. He's non-committal. We get all these cryptic messages every now and again. A tendency to throw toys out the pram. Where's the upside for us? Do you know what I mean? I can't see it. It's like, no, sorry. Everyone treats him like the way some of our fans treats him. It reminds me of like he should walk on roses. Like Coming to America when the king runs about and people throwing roses before he walks everywhere. Like it's geezers. Do you know what I mean? He's not a Guardiola. If he's a Guardiola, then fair enough. Or even a Klopp to that extent, or you move heaven and earth. But we had someone with a far superior CV in terms of trophies, and we treat them like shit.
Right.
I do get it, but it is that sort of religious type thing, isn't it? It's
it's a cult.
It's throwing full faith in because it's out of desperation. We're so starved of success that our grasp to anything.
But let's be honest, if you cannot be a proper Spurs fan, and think this is going to lead to success, because it's just building and building, and it's like someone's dropped the Mentos in the bottle of Coke. Any minute now, it's going to go fucking wallop, and then it's all going to kick off. Any minute, it's just waiting for it.
Just quickly, I think it's comments like this, like Terry. Listen, I half agree with what you're saying, but half I don't agree. I don't think it's that Spurs can't compete. I don't believe that we cannot compete. I believe the word that I want to replace with cannot is
won't.
Right, we won't compete. I don't see any reason why we can't compete financially with Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. No reason at all. The revenue this club makes,
or at the very least with Arsenal when they're outspending us.
Right, exactly. I don't believe that. But to your second point, I do agree, Terry, that if we if we don't do that, then. Sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought there. So what was I saying? Oh, sorry, about Juventus. Sorry. My boss just messaged me. I saw it ping up and I thought, what's that? But never mind. I don't know whether it'll be Juve, but I was having a good chat, guys, with a few people the other day, and we were talking about, would Conte be wanted, right, by the biggest clubs in the world? Now, before everyone has a go at me in the chat, and I keep hearing he's the best manager we've ever had, and all this.
I'll have a day off.
Right, but Antonio Conte's got a specific way of playing. Right, it's not entertaining. It's effective when he's got the right players. We know that, right? His inter-team played some good stuff in patches, but a lot of the game is always about, right, keep your shape, maintain, and then counter productively. Real Madrid wouldn't put up with that. Barcelona wouldn't put up with that. Man City wouldn't put up with that. Bayern Munich wouldn't put up with that. PSG fans wouldn't put up with that. So my question is, if this guy is this great magician that everyone seems to think he is, A, where would he go after us? And B, if he's that good, why is he with us?
Exactly. To be honest, that type of football works in Italy. That's the Italian way of playing. Yeah, internationally they do it, in the league they do it. They just wear you down, and then they nick and then take the wins. Yeah, it's happened to us how many times. But in European football, the teams now have left the Italian league behind. Let's be honest. That's why they don't compete really in the Champions League, very rarely.
Yeah.
Going back to what we were saying about Arsenal and the other teams, Savage, on our WhatsApp group, we've had this thing tonight where these teams also, they don't spend money, they get players from within. Yeah. This is a perfect example today to put a hill in, even a Pepe Matasar, yeah, because they go, right, we can't do 4 competitions because even the other teams don't prioritise all 4 because they know they can't do it. We definitely can't with our lack of quality and numbers. So you go, right, this one, we're going to go, let's put a couple of the younger players. I'm not saying put 11 kids in, but Sarr, we've never seen Sarr. Yeah, go on and have a go. Yeah, Hill, every time he's come on lately, he's looked better and better and better. You think, right, give him a start. Let's see what he can do. Yeah, no, we don't do it. But these teams do. Guarantee if it was Arsenal playing or they're playing their game, Eddie Nketiah's played and he scored. Yeah, that's how they came across Smith Rowe's, Saka's, Martinelli's, by playing these players in these type of games. They win some, they lose some, but in the long term, they benefit out of it. We ain't going to win this trophy. Let's be honest. The first decent team that can string 3 passes together is going to turn us over. So let's be strategic about it and go, right, well, we ain't going to win it. We can't compete when the World Cup starts again because we'll have competitions galore. Young players, right, you, this is going to be your competition. You're starting every game in this competition as far as you can go. Yeah, and we'll see what you got. Why not?
I just think the thing for me, Kuva, I agree with everything Pete's just said there. I just think the thing for me, and we said it time and time again, what I've seen for the last 25 minutes when I've had the stream, it's all backwards, it's sideways. Every now and then we have a chance from a set piece or a cheeky counter-attack. I fail to believe the players at this football club are this bad. I'm sorry, Kuva. I'm not hearing it. This is now getting to the point where loads of people are just saying, Levy. Now, you're not going to find 2 bigger people than me and Pete that want Levy out, right? But even we're now coming around to the point where you're going, yeah, we want Levy out, but this football isn't completely on him. This is how this manager sets up to play, because I can guarantee you Liverpool's kids right now are not playing this badly. I'm not even watching their game, and I guarantee they're having a go.
Yeah, I mean, we were having this conversation weeks ago, weren't we? I remember saying the name Harry Redknapp keeps coming up. Remember what it was like at the end of Juan Ramos' his reign? We're playing dreadful football, foot of the table. The playing squad wasn't that bad. And then Redknapp comes in, just says, bollocks to all of this. Just go out there and play. Enjoy yourselves.
Fucking run about. Yeah.
Run about. Literally.
That's what he said, didn't it? Yeah. Go fucking run about.
Just run about and then just go and enjoy yourself. Play with a bit of freedom. Express yourself. I don't feel we're getting any of that from this team at the moment.
Any of them players look happy? Any of them players look happy?
No.
They look like they're there because they have to be there, not because they want to be there.
Yeah, biggest one of the lot to look at for that is Sonny, isn't it?
Yeah,
normally
with
a smile on his face.
And normally you go up and chin him and he's still smiling. Yeah, it takes a lot to piss him off.
Yeah.
He's got a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp most games. And he's playing like one and all. There's clearly something bigger going on there.
And guys,
enjoy him playing this way.
Just quickly, my prediction of get to half time having played crap and bring on who?
Go on.
Bentancur.
Bentancur is warming up on his own on the pitch at half time. He is coming. It's the thing is, if we now go on to win this game, it makes everyone go, see, everything's all right. This is not. I keep saying it's not sustainable. For my eyes, more than anything, guys. This is not what being a football fan should be about.
Put another performance in like this against Leeds.
We'll get turned over.
I think we could be looking at 3-0 at half time.
Where is the Leeds game?
It's at home, I think, is it?
It's at home, right?
I think it's at home. Even then, it still don't matter. We're not exactly a fortress.
True. Yeah. True. I mean, I'm watching Chelsea here, right? Sorry, it's just
it's at home.
And some kid I've never seen play for Chelsea has just run through there, done a little drag back, shuffled the ball at his feet, and had a shot. We're not allowed to play any of our kids, and this is a Chelsea team that are not, that people are criticising and that. Sorry.
Every other club does it. Every other big club does it. Because then they might find a little gem. Worst case, it might be semi-decent and another team will want him. Or you can loan him out. Someone might go, I like the look of him. I'll loan him in January. Whatever. You start getting some movement. But these players just sit there. We buy them for nothing. Now, they could be absolutely shit. The thing is, we never know. Until they actually play, you
just don't know.
It's not been training. He could do all that in the world. But they've got to play games. You can't play them in the Champions League. You don't want to play them in the league. So you've got to say, right, well, they've got to get some platform.
Just quickly,
it's got to be some sort of club policy, hasn't it? Just to do with that they've got to go out somewhere before they can come to the first team. I just don't get it.
Just quickly, James, when you're saying if not Conte, then why won't anyone, including the chat, give an alternative name? Because look, at the moment, Conte is our manager, right? There's no point sitting here going, this manager, that manager, whatever. My point is this: we've brought in a guy that wins because he's given the tools wherever he goes, right? All I'm saying is, if we're not going to give the guy the tools, which would be the only way that a fan like me, I only speak for myself here. I'm pretty sure people would agree with me. The only way a fan like me will get on board with this football is knowing we're buying players that can execute it properly, right? Execute it. Then I can turn around and go, all right, I don't like the style, but look what we're getting from it. Other than that, once Conte goes, if Levy's still here, it doesn't matter. Just get in a manager that will at least try and play football. Because what we're seeing is anti-football.
Yeah, look, Yiddy 71, 846. Nails it. He's just done a comment. That third one from the end now. 846. That's what I'm saying.
Imagine, for sure.
No one goes into the game to play this football. They just get pissed off of it all the time.
For sure. Just quickly, Azad, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope you're well, my friend. I said Arsenal playing dynamic football with a team showing togetherness and giving their fans something to be proud of. Reminds me of Poch, sad times. I think I go back to this, Azad, and again, thank you for the super chat. What I go back to is this. I literally go back 3 or 4 months. Oh, I'd love some Haribos. I literally go back.
Strawberries. Someone's asked me what I'm eating.
I literally go back 3 or 4 months ago. And literally every stream we did, Pete, me and you, Kuva, it was our midfield's better than Arsenal's. Our defenders are better than Arsenal's. Our forward line's better than Arsenal's. Our manager is better than Arsenal's. Now, all of a sudden, the narrative has changed to, well, hang on, he has been there 4 years and they're lucky. And it's like, well, pound for pound, how much better are Arsenal's 11 to ours? Pound for pound, realistically. Or is it that Arteta lets them play? Like, go and play and press and try and be a football team. What do you guys think?
Exactly that. They play. You could tell all the Arsenal fans all the players look happy. They're enjoying playing it. They've played with no fear. They do concede goals, but they're like, well, we'll create chances and score. Yeah. They don't rely on one single player to score the goals like we do. They're sharing goals out. Everyone's getting involved. Players that were sort of cast away and now rejuvenated in like Granit Xhaka and all that. it's where we was 3-4 years ago.
It-
They were looking up at us, going, "Wish we were like that." We've
Yeah.
come full circle now, and now they're the one with the young manager, fairly young team, hungry team, doing bits. Yeah, but I've got a funny feeling they will do the next part, which is sprinkle it with a bit of top quality players, where we didn't. Do you know what I mean?
That's my worry, Pete. That's my
Yeah.
worry is that the Arsenal go out and say, Milinkovic-Savic or James Maddison. What do you want? 70 million.
There you go.
And I mean, Kuva. Look, I agree with everything Pete's just said there. Again, I think the thing for me is whatever we hear about Conte, the caveat is always, what if he wins something playing like this? But I'm sorry, we're playing Nottingham Forest reserves. We don't look good again. And bearing in mind, from our first 11, who's missing tonight? Who's not playing today? Kulu and Son and Romero. Kulu, Son and Romero.
Lloris.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Are we missing him?
I'm talking about in terms of the style of football.
Comedy bit earlier, wasn't there?
You know, can we really be a club that you take out Kulusevski's Son, who's not been good this year, and Romero, who's not really been good this year, and we can't even dominate Nottingham Forest's reserves? That can't be on. That's the manager for me. I'm not having it anymore. That's the manager, Kuva.
It's got to be something. A few games you can understand it if we don't turn up in the first half. When it happens time and time again,
It's every week.
Yeah, the team's not prepared when it goes out on the pitch.
No.
That's got to be the manager's job, hasn't it?
They don't believe in what they're being asked to do. It's painfully obvious. Because as soon as they're allowed to attack, because we're 1-0 down, they all come alive.
Mm-hmm.
But in the first half, they're shit because they're told, don't do this, don't do that. They don't want to hear that.
You look at the painful example of the way Arsenal are playing compared. They get the ball, their first instinct, fullbacks push into midfield, midfielders get forward to join the attack. They've got 5 players in the attack already. We're lucky if we get 2 players in the box.
Yeah, I mean, for me, guys, I think that the difference is here. I mean, hang on, I just saw a comment from Dimitri, who's an Arsenal fan. He said, "Savva, I think our 11 is better overall, but the striker is clearly better for Spurs." But guys, the problem is if you can't. By the way, we've just gone 1-0 down.
Oh, is it?
We've just gone 1-0 down. Renan Lodi, I believe it's pronounced. Guys, honestly,
it's laughable now, isn't it? It's just
it's getting to the stage now where I don't care. I'm going to say this right now on stream. Hang on, I'm going to watch the goal on my app. Cross has come in, headed back across goal, headed out. Oh God, how far behind am I? Spurs are attacking on my.
Well, you say
you might be about 3 years behind.
Hang on,
we're attacking.
Here we go. It's coming up on Sky Sports. Right, ball. Oh, great goal! Yeah, the left back, the left back's cut in on 18 yards out, whipped it round the keeper with his right foot. Guys,
I'm even further behind. Hang on, I'm just catching up.
Hoddle's
just got it off Perryman.
Yeah.
Don't you dare talk about club legends and this team in the same. Listen, guys, I'm at the point now where I don't care. All these people who want to love off Conte and whatever can do what they want. This football is not for me. Yeah, we in the last few months, we've looked shocking against Bournemouth, who are let's be fair, probably going to get relegated. We're playing Nottingham Forest reserves. We're losing. We made Man United, who Villa just beat 3-1, look like Brazil. We made Arsenal beat us easily. We made Liverpool, who were in no form at all. First half, it was like, go on, boys, have the ball. Get all your confidence back. Go on, have all your confidence.
I've just seen the goal.
I just can't deal with it anymore, guys.
Just do it. Just pull the fucking plug and be done with it and start again. You got a whole World Cup to sort it out.
So James, just quickly, James said, so hang on, Arsenal have turned it around in one window because apparently they were shit before this season and has followed that up with, so why can't we turn it around in 1 or 2 windows? First and foremost, Arsenal weren't shit before this season. Spurs fans said they were shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I've seen it now. Good goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
James, let's be really honest about this. All the Spurs fans in the summer that did typical Spurs things, like belittling Arsenal. Do you remember, Pete? It was comments like, "Oh, they're in our rear view mirror."
Oh yeah, he
We
just gets the
finished-
cones out and all that shit. 2 points clear.
James, we finished 1 point above Arsenal, right? And this was an Arsenal team last year that didn't even have any forwards, right? So no, they didn't turn it around in one window. What they did was they added a couple of players to what was already a decent team. And the manager has said, go and play. We can't do it in one window because apparently we've got to buy specialist Conte players. And I don't even know what that is anymore, lads. I'm annoyed.
Someone who's 6 foot and good on set pieces.
I'm annoyed. I don't normally get really, really annoyed. I'm really annoyed. It's crap.
Just go. Just do it. It's going to end sooner or later playing this sort of football. You can see the players look all over the place. They're just like, they're there, but they're not there, if you know what I mean. It's so obvious. It's got end of manager vibes about it all day long. It's been like that for weeks. It's not when, it's not if, it's when. We all know it. Deep down, if you're a Spurs fan, you know it because you've been here before. You've had these feelings. We've all been there. Yeah, it's nothing new. We've had it how many times the last couple of years?
Oh, mate,
I just remember how negative we were told we were earlier in the season when we were getting some results and the football was crap. And we said, just wait until the results don't come.
Yeah,
right.
Because there's literally nothing to take away from the match then.
Exactly.
But what makes me laugh is, James, stop. James, Arsenal aren't playing once a week. Arsenal are also in Europe. Stop. I'll tell you what, James, listen, everyone to their own opinion, but it's fans like you that are so in denial, it is unreal. Why can't any Spurs fans turn around and say, yeah, Arsenal are doing well? Right? I've heard this week. Arsenal are lucky. I don't know why. Arsenal have had an easy fixture list, but they've beaten Chelsea, Spurs, and Liverpool. Right? Arsenal now only play once a week. Come on. What are we? Oh, God. Sorry. Kuva, say something.
Even the Arsenal fan that was coming on saying, better team than us, but the striker. But I look at the way Jesus is playing for him.
He's nearly 2-0 there. Oh, it's nearly 2-0. Now.
Yeah, Jesus is playing really well for Arsenal. I think he's a big part of everything they do. So, compared to our team, they're just light years ahead at the moment.
Yeah, but it's not light years in terms of quality. It's just light years in terms of how they're set up. It's just like, every one of our players looks like they're carrying, like I said the other day, a rucksack full of bricks. They're just like, can't go anywhere.
Look at the transfer policy. What do they do in the summer? Where can we get some good footballing players? Oh, let's go to the team that's just won the league that plays great football.
Yeah.
Okay, Kuva, what did you remember in all our shows in the summer? What did people say?
We got Richarlison.
No, but what did they say about those two players from Man City? Oh, the rejects. Yeah. Oh, they're rejects. But again, I always say, and I always get in trouble for this. I always say, Pete, don't I? Lots of our fans have the club they deserve because they will back. They will back anything. Look, Chef, you're right. They are. I'm watching this game. They are ripping us apart through the middle. Because again, the whole point I thought of playing Conte ball was that we were at least, even if we were like watching paint dry, we were hard to beat. And for a time we were, but now we look really easy to play against, Pete, don't we?
Well,
really
no team.
Easy to play against.
Let's be honest, in all the games we've played this season, even though some of the games we've won, no team has struggled to play against us. Even Southampton, they had a good half against us, but we had the quality at the top end of the pitch. Every team has played better than us this season. I can't think of one game where we've been the best team from start to finish. Someone let me know because I can't remember one.
Mate, every time I look down at my app, sorry, if I look down, guys, it's because I've got 3 screens. I've got Sky Sports up there. I've got me here, and then I've got Spurs down there. Every time I look up, they're cutting through us like knife through butter.
Oh, it's a joke, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, James, mate, Yeah, I mean, well, last season they were playing once a week, and yes, they're doing well now. That's my point. One window they've turned it around, but it's not one window. It's okay. All right,
2-0. I think it's 2-0 now, isn't it? Someone's putting the stream 2-0. Oh, there you go.
2-0. Mate, honestly, this guy.
It's got to go. It's got to go.
Here you go. Right, I'm watching the game now. So Sessegnon lost the ball. One of the worst players I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt. The Serge Aurier is going down the right. He's crossed it in. And the bloke's headed it back, and the striker's just nodded. Jesse Lingard's nodded it in.
He was always going to score, wasn't he?
Again, I'm sorry. People like James Hunter, listen, stop. When you say, oh, God, and the end may be near, you're the one sitting here defending this. You defend this. I truly, Steve, I'll blame you. Steve, I'm not, I'll say whatever I want, mate. I'll say whatever I want. That's the beauty of it being my YouTube channel, mate.
I think to be fair to a lot of fans, it is out of desperation because we're just so starved of anything worthwhile.
Yeah, but Kuva, it's denial. We're in denial.
Yeah, sometimes you need it just to get bloody through, don't you?
Listen, don't get me wrong. Like my wife's in denial. She thinks I look like Ryan Gosling. You know, so I'm happy. That sort of denial, I'm happy with. It benefits me, right? But one of you could have said I look a little bit like him or something, like just something nice would have been no. Okay. Listen, all the Spurs fans won't go at each other, right? But the thing is, I cannot hear another YouTube channel tonight when I watch shows later telling me performances like this are on Daniel Levy. As much as I hate him, the squad is this is Conte's football. He does how we're
not getting torn apart by Liverpool here or Chelsea. Then you can say, well, we ain't got the players to compete. This is Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, let's play a game. By the way, Richarlison's coming on. Brilliant.
Oh, what we do? Fuck me, yeah.
Let's play a game. Everybody in the chat, and there's 130 of you. I wasn't expecting so many people. Please please subscribe to Pete as well. Let's play a game. Right now,
I can't believe I've reacted to the second goal because it's been such a delay. I thought that's a third goal.
Now, hold your thing, mate. It'll be on and along in a minute.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Right now, can everyone in the chat please put in what is going to be Antonio Conte's famous line from tonight's press conference if we lose? Let's play that bingo. Whose fault is it tonight that we're losing? What's going to be the strap line, and who out of Dyer and Kane are they going to send out to the cameras for them to tell us that we're going to learn? We'll go back to the training ground and we'll come back better.
It'll be we miss Son.
Kane has come off. Brian Hill has come on for Kane. Kulusevski's on. The club's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles.
Imagine Kane. Imagine he gets injured tonight and going to the World Cup for this shit. Do you know what I mean? Let's just mug him off even more. It's not on Levy all the time. Fuck's sake. You can't play this football on Levy. It's not this Levy. So every time I hate the geezer more. I wouldn't piss him if he was on fire, but you can't say we play shit because of Daniel Levy. I guarantee you get a new manager in tomorrow, like a Brendan Rodgers, we played better football straight away. And you see the difference. Because let's be honest, we're not winning nothing like this. People say we won't win anything under Rodgers. We ain't going to win anything like this. But at least we'll enjoy watching it, and because he does play some nice football. And who knows?
Exactly the same page I'm on, Pete.
Right, me
he's
too.
come close. He's come close. He has won a trophy. He's won a cup. Yeah, but what is the draw side to changing now? Tell me, because I can't see it. There's no downside to doing it. Just why string this out?
Stephen said it's no surprise. Come on, lads. Shayna said subbed on the team he should have started with. Reloader said we need 7 to 8 windows, mate. I think we need 7 to 8 years. Wayne has said I'm listening to Radio Nottingham. Oh yeah, you live in Leicester, so you get it. TC Barton has said he has to go, lads. This is killing me. Look, guys, slowly but surely, I feel like people are coming around to what I've been saying for months and months and months. And this isn't an I told you so. This is more of a we've woken up as a fan base. I think a lot of people have woken up now to, I mean, there were people telling me at the beginning of the season, we're in a title challenge.
Oh, fuck off.
We're in a title challenge. Look at the state of what's going on.
We're not in a title. It was the position was a false economy. It still is, because we've beat every team that's shit. Any team that is decent has turned us over or took points. If not all the points, I think we got a draw against West Ham and Chelsea, and we were lucky in both of them games. Any other team has turned up, whether it be home or away, and put us to the sword because we are crap. It's fucking. You can't deny it. It's a fact. So once we stop playing those poor teams, lo and behold, we start seeing what really going on. Let's be honest. Even in shit teams we played, we're still the second best team. We just had better strikers.
This, by the way, Pete. This.
We've
Stephen,
always said that. It comes from the top.
Stephen, listen, I've never ever said it. It's not Antonio. Sorry, it's not Daniel Levy. I don't think anyone in this chat between me, Pete, and Kuva has ever said that it's not Daniel Levy. But as Pete always says to me, there are multiple moving parts to what is going wrong at this club, and for me, Conte is one of them. If you're going to play crap football, you have to win. You cannot play this crap football and have results like this. Dimitri, thank you. As said, Savva, the reason I like this channel is because I don't feel you let tribalism get in the way of realistic discussion. I respect that. Only Spurs channel I watch. Dimitri, I think a lot of it comes with age. I think a lot of the Spurs channels I watch, a lot of people are younger and they want to... Listen, I'm not going to mug off any Spurs channels, but for me, discussing Spurs is more important than the number of subscribers I've got. I could sit here and say, before the stream starts, I could say to Pete and Kuva, right, boys, no negative, everything positive. It's not real. I'm a football fan.
I won't be sitting here. I'd be like, sorry, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
Can't deny reality.
Fifth game in a row, we've gone 2-0 down.
Daniel Levy, mate.
We weren't clinical is another line we're going to hear.
Oh, shit, we're going to need a third half, aren't we?
Yeah. I tell you, be clinical is them. They could have scored about 4 or 5 by now.
My streams dropped. I don't know if that's good or bad. Oh, guys,
it's nothing worth watching, is there?
It's absolutely pathetic what's going on in this football club.
Can you imagine getting Nick for watching a illegal stream on Conte's football?
Hang on, there. Oh,
they'd feel sorry for you. They think that's right, mate. Don't worry about any fine. You've suffered enough watching that.
Yeah. I'll start crying to the police officer again. I'm so sorry. I won't watch them again.
Yeah, I weren't watching it. Would you watch that?
Did you see? I'll tell you what was brilliant. James, Pete, would you like to respond to James?
It's the straw man, isn't it? I've already said I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire, but it's not just one problem at this club. There's layers of problems. Unfortunately, Conte has become one of them. Yeah, Daniel Levy is a root cause of a lot of what goes wrong at a club. But when you look at individual performances, it's not on Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy don't pick the team. Daniel Levy don't set the tactics. Yeah, the funny thing is about this, guys, is how many fans in the summer, Pete, were saying it's been a great window. We've built a squad. Now all of a sudden we can't win. We can't play any good football, and it's Levy again. Levy. Listen, I hate Daniel Levy. I want new owners at this club. But what I'm watching right now with the players we've got is disgusting. Yeah. Do we need world-class players to beat Nottingham Forest away, second string? Is that what we're saying? And until we get all these, I mean, it's fucking stupid.
I don't think we'll beat them with our first team.
I don't.
We have already, but that was a struggle.
We were playing at least competently back then.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you guys, right? For all those people that are constantly blaming Daniel Levy, which I am one of them most of the time, we weren't playing anywhere near this bad for the last half of last season, from February through to May. So how are we suddenly this bad when he's added Perisic, Basuma, Longley? How are we that much worse?
For me, it's the disconnect between manager, director of football, chairman. They've got different priorities. Chairman wants to try and make a few quick bucks out of some youngsters and sell them on. Manager wants team for right here, right now. Director of football is probably trying to do a balancing job between pleasing the chairman and getting something for the manager. There's just nothing happening. It's the same old story.
Oh, and that's what the difference is at Arsenal. They're all on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
You watch a documentary, you see it in the way they buy. I mean, Arteta don't get a player and then he never plays. He don't come up and say that's a club signing. Yeah, he's like, yeah, and he's in the team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We don't see that problem there, and it pains me even more because it's our nearest rivals who are doing what we did 3 or 4 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's the exact same thing, and you think we don't learn, and fans can deny it all they like, but that is the reality. Yeah, and they will take it to the next step.
As for the chairman bit, I still see the argument you can put it on him because at the end of the day, all these pieces that are going wrong, but it is him that's put all this together over.
Yeah, he's the root cause. He's the root cause. I've always said that he's the root cause of everything wrong in his club. However, when you break down that root, when you break down these problems,
sure.
Conte's is one of them. Yeah, it's not like he's like before when you say in Poch's time, Levy was a problem, but Poch is getting him out of it. Poch weren't a problem until the very end. Do you know what I mean? But he was overperforming, overproducing results with the team he had, and then Levy was going, thanks very much. Yeah, it was all good then.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? But now it's like, well, we got that, and then we got that. You know what I mean? We got Conte's poor football. We got Daniel Levy not invested enough or whatever. You got Paratici who's flew and far in between. Remember, there was fans earlier in the summer wanting to get chance going for the geezer. You know what I mean? We need a chance for Paratici. Fuck off.
Just quickly, Azad, another super chat. Thank you, my friend. He has said, Conte has thrown in the white towel. For fuck's sake, how can people call this guy elite? Listen, I've said it all the while. I don't think he's an elite manager. No. I think he's done well where he's been. I think the 2 clubs he was at in Italy were expected to win the title, if I'm honest. Chelsea, he did well until he didn't, and the Chelsea fans wanted him out. But I've said all along, I cannot stand this brand of football. I don't care what anyone says. This football will not happen if you bring in another manager. I don't care. This football, when you've got Bentancur, Højbjerg, Bissouma, Kane, Son, Kulusevski, Spence, Romero, Longley, Perez, I don't care what anyone says. The football would not be this crap as Man City go 1-0 up with a Riyad Mahrez free kick.
Let's be honest. If Conte was trying different things, I won't be on his case so much. I'm like,
I agree.
You're trying stuff, yeah? Change your formation. I'm not talking about going from a 3-4-3 to a 3-5-2. That's a subtle change. Try and 4 at the back, whatever. Different players going right. Then for me, that's why Mourinho got more of a free pass from me because he's tried so many times to get Ndombele in the team. He's tried different formations, different players. He tried all he can. He just didn't have the players to do what he wanted to do. If Conte was doing that, then I wouldn't be on his case. Then you could go to Levy and go, it's your fault. Because he's trying everything he can here with what he's got, and you ain't giving him enough. But Conte's just like, this is my way. There's no flexibility from him whatsoever. And that is the problem.
Do you know what, Kuva? I mean, let me bring you in here, mate. I mean, I can understand if we were putting in performances like this tonight away at Man City or away at Chelsea or away at Liverpool, you know, you get the drift. Even away at West Ham, let me bring it down to that level. We're playing Nottingham Forest, who have made 9 changes from their Premier League game at the weekend, which they failed to beat Brentford, right? 9 changes, and they're just strolling through the game.
Oh, my God. Forster did well to stop it being 3-0.
He's been the man of the match for us. He's the man of the match for us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
We got Spence on at last.
Yeah, Forest made 9 changes. What I'm seeing here, I'd say sign them up.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I'm actually, I'm embarrassed to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan right now with this manager. I'm gonna call it. I'm calling it right now.
And bear in mind, they got Serge Aurier playing, who we
Yeah.
threw away. We basically threw out the go on, off you go. We paid to get rid of him.
I mean, just quickly, Justin, when you're saying a new manager comes in, we'll get a new manager bounce and then revert to type. The thing is, with this group of players, when we say revert to type, you've got to remember, these are no longer we've had 9 new players since Nuno left. We've had 9 new players, some that could play very good football. Bentancur, Kulusevski, Richarlison, Basuma, Romero, Longley, Perisic. Why is it reverting to type? This is Conte's type. This is not the same squad that Jose Mourinho had. And I'll tell you what, guys, I might get loads of stick for this, but I just simply don't care. I put a team out the other day. I think I sent it to you, Pete, in the group, and I might have sent it through to you as well, Kuva. And I said, look, I'm not saying this team will be great. I'm not saying it's going to win a league or win anything, but it would be better to watch. And it removes all the players that people keep telling me are the same players that have let down loads of managers. And all I did was went for an attacking team of Lloris in goal or whoever in goal, Spence right back, Romero, Longley, Perisic, Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Kane, Son, Kulusevski. Yeah? What I would do is say, right, the 2 fullbacks, you're not great at defending. So let's use your strengths. You bomb forward. You've got 2 centre halves that don't come out, and two of the 3 centre mids just drop deep when we've not got the ball and protect them. Because it can't be worse than this crap we're watching now. It can't, guys. I'm so angry.
I agree. Angry. This is just unacceptable shit.
I'm again. I'm done now. I'm just like I was done weeks ago. It's expected. I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I just knew it. You knew what the first half was going to be like. I saw the team and I was like, it's going to be more the same. Where there's an opportunity to put in Hill, Sarr, whatever, Spence, freshen it up a little bit.
If you get beaten playing like that, fair enough.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We said this, Kuva, at the beginning of the stream. If you lose the game, having started the players he started, there can be no excuse because he didn't mix it up. He's not gone with... If you start Spence, Gill, Skip and Sarr and... Spence, Skip, Gill and Sarr, Hill and Sarr, then you can turn around and go, okay, cool. He's tinkered with it there. But what makes a complete mockery of it is 9 changes for Man City. Have just gone 2 up. Is 9 changes for Nottingham Forest. This is Nottingham Forest. Absolutely disgusting.
I've seen one thing that's a highlight for me for tonight. Jed Spence had a lovely run, drove through the middle of the Forest team, had to be brought down with a foul. But that's it.
It's not good enough, apparently. When do you see Emerson Royal doing that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Mate, we've got what we deserve. Man City 2-0 up. Arsenal, the only saving grace, which isn't really a saving grace anymore, so we shouldn't be celebrating the downfall of someone else, is Arsenal are 3-1 down at home to Brighton. Just quickly.
But you know what? You know what? They'll win at the weekend, so it won't matter.
Oh, yeah. Mate, hang on. Nottingham Forest have gone down to 10 men.
Oh.
They've gone down to 10 men with 15 minutes to go. Surely we can attack now, no?
Well, we took Kane off. We've got no striker on.
Richarlison's
on.
I can't. My stream's gone, by the way. I can't get onto a link at all.
Good for you. What did you do to get rid of it? I'll do the same.
Yeah. Mine's on 73 minutes. I've just seen Richarlison get taken out from behind by the keeper. But
Rooksy Pop, thank you so much. Hope you're doing well, mate. He said, you know you're crap when Lingard looks class. I mean,
not for the first time as well, is it?
Hang on, I'm just watching the red card here. Is that a straight red? I'd like to see that again.
Is that a second booking? No, second yellow.
Oh, second yellow. Oh, yeah.
So scissor tackle, yeah.
Got the old scissors. I mean, can this save us?
We don't deserve it. Let's be honest. He'll only just go. Everyone will go. Ooh. Just prolonging the inevitable. It's like carrying a relationship when you know it's doomed. Just,
mate.
No one's got the bottle to say it's over.
Dimitri was an Arsenal fan.
At least on the relationship, there might still be something worth looking at.
Well, there might be. Look, someone just put on it. Sex 69 fun, new site with hot girls. Maybe we should stream that instead.
Definitely.
Dimitri has said, really begs the question, what is so different about Mourinho and Conte? I'm not the biggest Mourinho fan, being an Arsenal fan, but why was he sacked before the final? Priorities are clear. Look, so many Spurs fans won't hear it. They'll tell you he was a dinosaur, but what we're watching right now is worse than dinosaur football. This is absolutely shocking. I can't wait. I'm going to tune into loads of YouTube channels later. I can't wait to see the excuses for this man yet again.
I'm trying to think which manager this performance is reminding me of. And it's somebody from a while back. It might be like Christian Gross or something like that. It's that kind of clueless, don't know what to do with anything.
Bring back Christian Gross, I say.
Well, at least it'd be cheaper.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got.
He gets the tube in as well.
We've got. I found a stream, which is the bad news. Guys, so I thought that was funny, but no, I'm really not funny. Has he lost the dressing room, guys?
Yes, he lost it ages ago.
It's looking that way to me.
I think the players were playing before for pride. That's why they come back. But you only got to look at the body language of the players. I mean, I've been a manager, not a football manager. I have on an amateur level, but you only if you know body language, you only look at these players and know they're not happy in what they're doing. They're not happy.
Yeah, they're just not enjoying it.
They're going through the motions, aren't they? Yeah, because they probably know. Some of these players have been at Spurs 5, 6, 7, 8 years, so they know the vibe when it's coming.
Yeah,
so that's what it looks like. They're not stupid. Daniel Levy's not a stupid man, despite what we think about him. He's probably already got right. We better start looking. I think. Yeah.
Hang on, just quickly, Jace. I don't think the players I listed were mediocre. Let's be really, really honest. If you put this down on paper as an 11, right? Kane, Son, and Kulu as a front three, right? That's right. Bentancur, Basuma, and Højbjerg, right? Perisic, Longley, Romero. I'm sorry, Lloris. I'm sorry. That is not an 11 that should be doing this. Sorry, it's not, guys. Okay, if he's lost, anyway, he comes out and resigns.
I think there'd be a mutual termination because the length of his contract means he ain't going to get a lot anyway, and it won't cost Levy a lot. So I think they'll just do like, what's he got left on his contract? What, 7 months?
Mm.
We'll pay you 3.5 months or 3 months, and off you go.
I think that the club has an option for an extra year or something.
That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen.
Of course it isn't.
It's going to happen. Why would you do it? I just think, I don't think he quit. He's not one to resign. Yeah. Although didn't he quit into Milan? But it was in pre end of the season, wasn't it? But he's not one to often resign. He waits till he gets a tin tack. But I think because he's length of contract, I think there you go.
There you go.
Let's get on over to that.
Yeah, just do it.
Sorry, guys. The stream is no longer about Spurs. We're going over to Dahl here for girls. I mean,
sounds good for me.
Sorry if I've missed any chat. Sorry, I'm so far behind. I'm so. I mean, normally.
I was about to say, hopefully it's just girls because I've seen enough cocks tonight. It's fucking 11 of them. I can't take any more.
Louis, I agree with you, mate. Absolutely. Thank God the World Cup is. I can't watch
I'll tell you, I wasn't going to watch the World Cup because of where it's being hosted, but I can't wait for it now.
I think this is harsh, right? I mean, when we're saying, look, Bentancur, I think there's a good footballer in there, and we see it at times. For me, what we always see is When they sit back and defend, he's not good. When we actually play on the front foot, there's a player in there. So I think a manager coming in that plays football will release him.
He needs runners.
I mean, I'm sorry that the excuse is now. Everyone in the summer told us. They told us. This is a great squad now. We've got depth. We're going places. Now all of a sudden, there's so many excuses for this man. I've never known anything like it.
Yeah, Spence, good header, good save by the keeper. Spence again.
He's looked lively, hasn't he, Spence?
That's what I mean. Could freshen it up, innit? He's got something to prove. It does help us against these old team, but how is this man not getting a game in for Spurs? When you look at what's in front of him, it just beggars belief. That's another reason why he needs to go, because it's like he's
what minute are you in?
Political game.
What minute are you in?
80.
Has Richarlison scored his offside goal yet?
No, I haven't seen it. I could have missed it, to be honest.
60 million, that bloke. I mean,
Well, I said at the time it was a waste of money because there's nothing against him, but it's just happened now. A player with no outstanding really qualities other than his work rate, and he runs around. And the best excuse anyone ever give me for paying that money, he's shithousery. Well, sorry, I'm not paying 60 million for that. It's all right if you've got to spare 6 million down the sofa. We don't. We have to make every pound count. He's got no outstanding pace. He's not the best finisher. He's okay in the air, but there's no outstanding quality to the man, is there? That you go, right, you're buying him because of that, other than work rate, and pisses everyone off.
Absolutely this, Steve D. He has said, I'm sick of this blind. Let me start that again. I'm sick of this blind Conte love. Howe was bottom of the league. Name a player that's gone to next level under Conte. Kane, Sonny, Dyer, Lloris, Basuma, all worse this year. Spence, Hill, not even getting a chance. Mate, I don't make anything you've said there wrong.
Yeah, look at Almiron. Look what he's doing.
Right.
He's tearing people a new arsehole. Do you know what I mean? Every week.
Oh, Ronan, you're right, by the way. I should have given an eye. Yeah, I was just too pissed off at the time.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah. I mean, let's have a look. So Steve was right. James, I'm watching it now. We don't really look like scoring.
Let's be honest. We couldn't score if we were the only ones on the pitch.
We look like a team, James, that are absolutely void of any ideas. It looks like a team, and somebody said it earlier, so I can't take credit for this. It looks like a team that don't do any coaching about being in possession of the football. It's all about shape.
Yeah.
And
true.
As I said, I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. Honestly, if that was Jose standing on that sideline tonight, he'd be sacked.
Oh, mate, it'd be. Didn't he even lose his last game? Did he even lose it? I don't think he did.
I don't remember now, mate.
No, I don't think he even lost his last game. But it's just such a mess.
But James, we should have started on the board years and years ago, right? We should have started on the board years ago. But the problem is, for me, just blaming the board right at this second really does deflect from multiple other sins. I think Paratici's been terrible. I think Conte's been terrible. And when people say, "Oh, it's not all doom and gloom, we're fourth," I don't care.
We won't be for long. We will not be for long.
Don't care that we're fourth. This is awful.
We won't be for long. Let's be honest, because we got some games coming up, and we're going to get tonked. Bless you.
Excuse me. Anything to take my eyes off the screen, really. Yeah, I think our Jose's last game was a 2-2 draw at Everton or something like that, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Because then Mason took over and we squeaked a win against Southampton.
Get him in. Get Mark Cousins, Somerset Spurs. Yes, get Mike Bassett in, and we're going to play 4-4-2.
Oh, I said it earlier. Get Frankie Boyle in. We're still going to lose, but the pressers will be brilliant.
Phil President has said Yo was sacked for less. Borodin has said Bertie Bassett.
John Sitton.
Look, I think so many so many fans now are coming around to this feeling now. They don't want him here. This is.
Well, it's just an unbearable watch, isn't it? It's just
like
literally nothing.
It's like pulling teeth, isn't it? It's like pulling teeth. It's the players don't look like they enjoy it, or they can see they don't. And it's
I'll
like,
tell you what. The other week in a chat, I don't know if you guys know Scott M. He goes into Henry's chat quite a lot.
is that the Canadian lad?
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah,
been on my show before, and he's a nice guy, but he was adamant, right? Adamant when I was saying, well, he hates Mourinho, right? And I said, well, look, Mourinho at least got us to a final, and he said, no, he didn't. I was like, well, factually, he did, right? We all agree with that. Kuva, you agree? Pete, you agree?
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, right? And he kept going, no, he didn't. He didn't. It was the easy draw that got us to the final. Nothing to do with Jose. Right. So hang on, right? So I'm going.
Like Chelsea, didn't we?
But hang on. I'm saying it don't matter. We got to a final. Jose got us to a final. So what's going to be the excuse today for Conte? We've played Nottingham Forest. No offence. We've played Nottingham Forest reserves with most of the players on that team sheet you're looking at and going Championship last season. How on earth? What's the excuse now? I just don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know.
There's not enough Forest who bought like 45 players in the summer and all. Most of these players weren't even there last year.
I just don't know what we do here. Anyone? I'm at the stage, OB. Anyone? I just don't care anymore. I can't watch.
Brendan
I can't
Rodgers.
watch more of this. Yeah, Spence.
I'll be happy with anybody just wants to play football. To be honest,
yeah.
I wanted to stick. I wanted to stick with Conte as well, but I just can't see where this is going. I don't believe in him.
No, it's
Kuva.
done. It's done.
Kuva, address that for me, please. Imagine going 2-0 down and taking Kane off. Conte waves the white flag quicker than the French.
Yeah, well, that's it. You see where the priorities are, isn't it? And everything there. It's league and nothing else. So forget the FA Cup as well. That'll be bombed out.
Well, he does, doesn't he? That's what I'm saying. Use these players and go right. What have we got to show for it? Because we're never going to win it, but we got a decent look at some players that don't get the younger players that don't get in the team, and we've saw something. We can either say they're definitely shit, or hang on a minute, maybe they deserve a little start.
I don't even think we're throwing the towel in here. I think we'd miss.
Just quickly, Tin Man, I hope you're well. I've not seen you for a while. Thank you very much. What a save from the Man City keeper, by the way. He said, guys, let's make this clear. It doesn't matter if we have Pep, Klopp, Wenger and Fergie in our dugout. It won't make any difference with these players. Sorry, Tin Man. I
can't disagree more. Right. We're not going to win the league, but we'll be playing much better than this.
Right. I'm sorry. If you had said we could have all those managers and we still wouldn't win anything, I agree. But no one's going to tell me that Pep and Klopp couldn't get these players playing better football than what we're watching under Conte.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to find out soon enough.
Well, but the thing is, guys, even Conte had them playing better football last season. So how can we say no one could get these playing better? We were playing better last year. I don't get it.
This is a shocking thing just for me to say here, but out of those four managers, I reckon Wenger would have the biggest impact, the quickest impact.
Yeah. Tactically, Fergie would just get everyone on their toes. They want to be shitting themselves because they'd get the old air dryer. But listen, it's not...
Again, we're excusing things here. We're making excuses for the manager. We're making excuses for a manager. If his name was not Conte, if his name was Martin Jol, yeah, if his name was Andre Villas-Boas, if his name was Jose Mourinho, Nuno Santos, people would be losing their mind.
I think the first thing to do in all these arguments is let's all agree that this team is not winning anything.
Oh,
no. As soon as we agree on that, then all we're talking about is what style of football do you want to see us playing? Do you want to see us have a go and at least be attacking, pass the ball around a bit, or suffer more of this bullshit?
Ben Berreton Diaz has equalised in the last minute for Blackburn at West Ham. Steve D, this has got to go down as the best comment of the night.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Conte makes Southgate look dynamic. Do you know what?
Hell. You can't argue with that either. That is brilliant.
Can you imagine, guys, watching a Conte team versus a Southgate team? Can you imagine? It would be so absolutely soul destroying as Basuma balloons one over the bar. Come on, assistant ref, put up like 2 minutes or something, put us out on misery.
My stream's already packed up, mate. That's the highlight of the night for me.
Welcome to everyone in the chat. We've suddenly just got a wave of loads of people coming into the chat, so welcome to you. As always, any super chats, the money does go to charity, so thank you so much. Selection of comments. Roger is sick of this football. He ends up playing Candy Crush. Gideon has said, Anthony, go, Anthony, go, Anthony. You know who'll be back. He's magic. Can I be honest at this stage? At this stage, I'll be honest. You all know I'm not Pochettino's biggest fan. Pete, you know my feelings on him more than many, right? At this stage, if you said to me that Pochettino is going to have this team, oh my God, I'll bite your hand. I don't want him, but I would bite your hand to have him over Conte. I'm sorry, this is...
The thing is, what fans don't realise, sorry, Koo, if we remove the shit football, then that problem's gone, and then we're going back to the board and saying, right, now you've got to do your bit to complement what's going on a pitch. But because we've got this other problem of the shit football, it's like you've added a problem that didn't need to be there. Before, we was all going at the board all the time. We're under Poch. You need to do that. Everyone sack the board, leave you out and all that. Because there was a clear agenda saying, look, you're not held back in the manager. He's overperforming with what he's got. You need to help him out. And it didn't happen. Now we've got another problem with the football. So you remove that, then we can all get on the same wavelength for the people who hate the ball, just like we do, and go, right, there's one cause. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of arguing.
I agree. I mean, I'm looking at I've turned the game off now. I'm looking at the 11 Arsenal.
Was there a game?
Yeah, apparently there was a game going on tonight. I'm looking at Arsenal's 11 they put out tonight, and only Saliba from the 11 that played at the weekend. Only Saliba, right? I'm going to make a point to all this. I'm looking at, so that was Arsenal. I'm looking at Liverpool. I'm looking at their lineup. Not one of the players who started for them at the weekend. How many of ours started at the weekend against Liverpool?
It was about 8, wasn't it? 8 or 7.
Sure, if it's worth looking. You know what? I don't even care. Let's just talk about something else, shall we?
Well, yeah,
skip. Seen good movies lately.
Longley, Dyer, Doherty came on.
Skip 2. It's 9. It's 3.
Sessegnon, Perisic, Kane. 8 of our 11 played.
Yeah.
And look at all these other clubs that are putting out teams. So when Arsenal let's be fair, Arsenal will probably be quite happy they're going out. They're top of the league. They're in the Europa. But I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. Would anyone be surprised? This is a question to you two, but also everyone in the chat. Would anyone be surprised later on to be watching Sky Sports and see that yellow bar come across saying Spurs have parted ways or by mutual consent? I'm hoping for it right now.
I'm praying for it, to be honest. I just want to put out my misery because that's what it looks like, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd never be surprised by it. Not at this club, but for me, I think it's a little bit early. I think there'll be.
I think they'll have a chat after the Leeds game before the World Cup because at the end of the day, that's when he's got to put pen to paper and go, right, are we in or are we out? Yeah, are you staying or are you going? Do you know what I mean? Because if you ain't going to give him any money in January, if he's going, and if he is going, let's not give him another 6 months to fuck this season up even more. Go right. Thanks, but no thanks. Off you go. We got 4 weeks while the World Cup's on to find our alternative, to find where we want to go.
I'm sorry, Coach TPM. When you're saying, but we know what he can do. We're just waiting to see if we can do anything. You have to realise he's won stuff. So what? So had Jose Mourinho, and look how he was treated.
Jose won 10 times more than Conte.
Jose won 10 times more than Conte.
He's won everything. He's won everything. More than once. Conte's won, what, 3 league titles? That's not me saying that's like nothing, but
no, I agree.
When you compare it to what Mourinho had won and the way the fans treated him.
So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Spurs, our results, right? So if we look at look, the game has finished, if anyone cares. Tottenham Hotspur, if we look at our results, so we lost to Liverpool, beat Marseille and Bournemouth, drew with Sporting, lost to Newcastle, lost to Man United, managed to beat, we'll beat the Brightons, the Evertons and the Frankfurts, then draw with Frankfurt, lost to Arsenal, lost to Sporting. It's crap. It's absolutely shocking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's failed to win 5 of his last 7 games. It's crap, mate. I mean, Kuva, give me an ounce of positivity, please. Give me an ounce of something that makes me go, maybe I'm being harsh.
We're all mortal. It won't go on forever.
What, you mean I'm not like Sean Connery in Highlander?
Yeah.
5 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah, that's it. I just don't. There's a World Cup. We can just forget about all this shit for after Christmas and then deal with it. It's like it's like having a puppy or something and it's shit all over your living room. You just want to close the door and forget about it and hope it goes away for a bit. You know you have to come back and clean up, but it's still there.
Kick it up the
really,
arse.
really is bad. I mean, look, guys, let's be honest. I'm not sitting here suggesting that Conte should be winning anything. I've said that all along. This team should not be winning anything. But this team should not be going 2-0 down to Bournemouth. This team should not be beaten by Nottingham Forest reserves comfortably. Like, comfortably. Let's have a look at the stats for tonight's game. Right,
8 shots on target to our 2.
14 attempts in the game, 8 shots on goal. Right, and yet still the excuses roll in. Right, let me ask a question. Please put in yes or no, just yes or no. Should Antonio Conte get the sack? I'm at that stage now. Should he get the sack? Yes or no? But Spurs CC, for me, it's not even about the manager being successful now. I think we know that. We've come to that point where I don't expect to win things, but I don't expect to watch what we're watching right now. And apologies if anyone doesn't like what we're saying. I'm sure Last Word on Spurs or someone like that is saying some lovely things about Conte being unlucky and blah, 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 blah.
We're going to get a knock on the door from the positive police.
Right, here we go. So the question was, should he be sacked? Yes. Yes. No. I'm guessing is no. 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 I don't know what these people are watching. Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. 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 Get him out. Yes. 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 Not yet. Yes. I like this. This is a polite one. Sorry. Yes. That's very polite. Yes. No. No. I don't. I mean, yes, no, yeah. I mean, there's a real mixture in here. Not yet. See how it goes against Leeds. I mean, I can tell you how
a big difference. Yeah.
I like this. This is my best one. This is the best one. I just don't care anymore, says Mark.
Yeah.
Mark.
So totally get it. That's what I'm feeling. I just don't give a shit. Just getting somebody that plays a bit of football, something to watch, and just wait for Enoch to sell up. Nothing's changing.
Ryan has said this team is shocking. Paratici has been shit, bar Bentancur and Kulusevski. We're truly awful. I hate the squad with a passion. The same hate I have for our owners. The way I feel about our owners is the way I feel about Conte's style. I'm not going to lie to you. Sam Smith says, Savva, you're the best. Oh. And that's the end of the show, guys. We're in no
Great.
on that.
Free t-shirt.
But Bobby is like, no.
Oh, well.
No, we shouldn't. Someone said give him January.
No.
Luana said it should seriously be considered. Look, I think we've got to the stage now where so many people are fed up of this, guys, that even fans that want to be truly positive, people always call me negative. I've dealt with that all my life, right? People who are trying to be super positive are even now going, oh, no.
What a penny that was.
Yeah, are you watching the Newcastle Palace penalties?
Yeah. Fucking hell, he meant that one, didn't he?
Thing
is, what I like to ask people is, in January, this conversation has to happen anyway. Before the January window, it has to happen because money. If we want money to be spent, which we all do, Daniel Levy is not going to say to a man who might not be there in 6 months, "There's 100 million." He's not going to do it. It's not going to happen. He's going to do it anyway. But you know what I mean? Then, so. And to be honest, I 100% back that decision to not spend money while Conte's sort of got the club in limbo. 100%, you shouldn't do it. Yeah, all this. He see what backing he gets, and then he can decide if he wants to stay. Who the fuck does he think he is? Fuck off. Yeah, you're not Guardiola. No, you don't. Yeah, it's a bizarre mindset and a sort of cult following of this man. Because they're sort of, he done this and he done that once. You know what I mean? Yeah, the manager who done it all, we couldn't wait to get rid of.
These managers do it with top players. Spurs are not going to sign the top players to win things. We need to get that through our heads. So when people are saying to me, Savva, it's not the manager, it's the owners. I hate to break it to people. The owners aren't going anywhere. Right? The owners aren't going anywhere. What they need to do when this manager goes, the next manager at least has to be a manager that can come out at the end and go, we won 4-3. We were dreadful at the back, but did you see us going forward? Right.
Here you go. Here's a bit of optimism for you, but it's not to do with the manager. Right. So we agree that ENIC want to make money, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. And ENIC aren't taking any dividends from the club. Which means the only way they make their money is by inflating the value of the club and selling it. Which means now we've got the ground built, and if we get a ground sponsor in, we are looking sort of around that level where we might just be selling.
Yeah, I mean,
but the problem with that, Kuv, is that the other clubs like Chelsea went for 4 billion, Liverpool are going for 4 billion. Yeah, they don't have any of the whole stadium, the money printing machine that we've got. That's a commercial sort of attraction. Do you know what I mean? Look at Chelsea. They were 1.5 billion in debt and they still went for 4 billion. All that does is push the value of our club up. I think our recent value was about 7 billion. No one's going to pay that. But because these other clubs are going for more money, because let's be honest, if you've got 7 billion, right, and you want to buy a club that you're going to make money out of, you buy Tottenham, because you ain't got to buy any players. The same fans every week will turn up with their wallets. There you go. How much do you want? Do you know what I mean? You've got all the extra events that go on there. It's a money printing machine. It's like your own personal cash point. Yeah. So they're going to buy Spurs. If they want to become a sporting success and be known for that, then they'll buy a Liverpool. But if they're in it to make money, they'll buy Spurs.
Kuva, can you do me a favour? Kuva, have you still got the StreamYard link to this show?
Yeah, you sent it to me. You should have it.
Yeah, I delete my messages as soon as I send. I'm weird like that. Could you send to Sean for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sean's going to come on. Right, so I want to read out a super chat. First, Foggy Foam, thank you for the super chat. He said, players are a bunch of rubbish. Don't blame Conte. Listen, Foggy Foam, listen, it can no longer just be on the players. What we're watching, the players have just been outplayed again by Nottingham Forest's reserves, right?
How long has Kane been shit for?
And hang on, I'm not going to tell you who, but a good friend of mine who went tonight, has messaged me this. Let me pick and choose the words that I'm allowed to read. Conte is the sooner he F's off, the better. It's a results business. It's a results business. Things start and finish with him. He picked our strongest 11 he could tonight against relegation candidates. Same shit tactics and personnel. Simply cannot be justified. And this is what we said at the beginning, Kuva. If you're not going to put in the Brian Hills and the Papasars and the Jed Spences, and the Alfie Devines and the Tangangas, which all the other clubs have done tonight, if you're not going to do that, you simply have to go and beat Nottingham Forest reserves.
Correct.
Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Sean. Sorry, Sean, I'll ask that question again for Sean's purpose. What I said, Sean, was...
I heard.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Kuva, you've simply got to. You can't put out the 11 he did tonight, lose, and then fans say, "Oh, we ain't got the players," because that Nottingham Forest 11.
There's simply no way tonight is acceptable in any way.
Again, it's not just tonight. Again, right? Again.
Yeah, true.
Sean, welcome. Mate,
Evening, boys.
If you don't laugh, you cry, right? I mean, that was
a bit loud there. Let me turn it down.
I mean, how bad was? I mean, how bad is it getting, Sean? Where are you at with this whole Conte thing? Because this is getting awful.
Honestly, like I had to jump. Like, I couldn't even get a street. Like, my internet's so disastrous. I had to keep pinging around trying to find streams. I had to jump off the Irish Hotspur. But for everything that I saw, I wasn't sure whether my screen was skipping at a couple of frames, or whether it was just that bad, and that every time we pinged the ball in, it would bounce off someone and go to one of their players. And then I realized when I look back, it wasn't the screen that was skipping. It was just we were that bad.
It was our passing.
It was our passing was that bad. Everything was that bad. Everyone wanted to see Jed Spence. Anyone that says Jed Spence, I've already seen people in WhatsApp defending. No, Jed Spence was the best player. He was brilliant. He didn't do anything wrong. Let's relax. Jed Spence wasn't that good either. He was positionally completely out. He didn't know whether to run forward, to step back. He was shit. I've never seen a worse performance in my life than Ryan Sessegnon today. He was absolutely abject. Objectively, he looked like a baby. He looked like he'd never played football before. For me, I've never seen such a pathetic shit show. It looked like the first half looked to me like two teams that were 12th and 9th in the Premier League on the last game of the season that were just kicking the ball around. Neither team looked any good. It looked like no one had anything to play for. And the second half, Nottingham Forest just took advantage. I know that what's going to happen, though. I know you guys all want Levy out, and I'm probably going to say something on this stream. I know you want me to say it, Savva. I've spoken to you about this before. I'm almost verging on Levy out now, not because I think they've done a bad job, but because of the news with Liverpool and Manchester United that they're going to find buyers that are probably coming from the Middle East, and that we're going to get left behind. But tonight's not a night for that. But I know that on certain channels, the fan phone-in shows are going to be, this is all Daniel Levy's fault, because every time there's a problem, every time there's a shit performance, they want to throw into that narrative and say that, it would have been better. If it wasn't for Daniel Levy, we'd have better players and that wouldn't happen. But every single player on our pitch.
You've got a Levy out person here not doing that, right?
No, I'm not. No, I know you guys don't do it. I'm just saying that on certain other channels, that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to have people piling in going, this is Daniel Levy's fault. This is, the Enoch out, blah, 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 blah. And fair enough, whatever you want to do. But tonight, you can't blame Daniel Levy when you turn up against a team like Forest, who are rock bottom of the Premier League. Right. Tottenham Hotspur, I don't care how bad the players are, they're better than the squad that Forest have got. When you play that badly, there's something wrong that is not coming from the top. That's coming from the management. That's coming from the squad. That's coming from the motivation, the players, the drive, the passion, the distraction of the World Cup, whatever it is. It's something else. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
But look at this. This is what you get, Sean. It's, I agree with this sentiment. If we were going to say, why aren't we winning trophies? Why aren't we winning trophies? Yeah, we haven't got the quality players. But I can't blame the caliber of players when we did what we did against Bournemouth. We've just gone out to Nottingham Forest's reserves. They made 9 changes from a team at the weekend. We made 3.
If you get outplayed by Arsenal, Chelsea, a top 6 team, and you put in your best shift, everyone's playing their best, and then it doesn't work out, and then you're pissed off. It happens all the time. You go, okay, we haven't got a good enough team to be able to compete. But against the team that sits 20th, and then 2 weeks ago against Bournemouth, the team that sits, what are they, 16th, 15th?
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah.
At some point, you have to go, the players are good enough to beat that. The players are good enough to beat them, because everybody else in the Premier League is good enough to beat a better version of Nottingham Forest, the team that didn't play today.
Right.
So it's not all about Levy, right? Let's just focus on what the fuck's happening on the pitch and worry about the players that can get on the pitch in January. But tonight is a disgrace for the 15 players that played, and the management and the tactics and the drive, all that shit that happens in the dressing room. That's where we need to throw our, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm so riled up, boys. I'm so angry.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, mate. I'm a Levy out, but this isn't the hill to die on. If you're Levy out.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
Another night, maybe,
No.
but not tonight.
Yeah. If you get pumped by Man City, or not even not Man City, if you go a Man United in a vital game and you can't compete with them, that's different. Then you can throw it upwards. Yeah, but
it's the old phrase. No, sorry, it's the old phrase. Bad workman blames his tools, isn't it? Yeah. If you're a manager of any sort, you make the best out of what you actually have on your plate. And I do not believe Conte is doing that.
No, because you adapt. You adapt. You be flexible. You improvise. We don't get any of that.
Just quickly, guys. Tom Markman, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, Savva, how about a poll for a potential next manager? I mean, instead of doing a poll, put your names in the chat. Yeah. We're at that stage now where I want to
any nationality.
I mean, the thing is, when I see things like players are unmanageable, look, what people have got to remember is last year, the last 4 or 5 months of last year, when we went on that great run and got top 4, fans were singing Antonio, Antonio, saying the football was good, saying we're playing well. So why was that then? He's now had more players and the football's worse. So why is it when we're doing well, he's a genius? When we're doing badly, it's the players, Kuva. Why? I don't get the...
That's what I said the other day on Sunday. I said the quality, if you had a graph, the quality of the players slowly gone up. The quality of the football's gone in the opposite direction. Instead of them being correlated and following each other, they've gone like that.
I'll just, from my point of view, the worrying thing is I just don't think these players are buying into what Conte's doing. They don't believe in themselves at all now. You can't just keep doing this.
No, you can't.
I'm kind of I'm fed up with it, given up really.
I was always, until I spoke to you boys on Sunday on the show here, I was always of the mindset. I hated Conte ball. I hated it. But I was like, you got to see the bigger picture. If you get rid of him, what's the collateral damage? Right? Harry Kane isn't going to hang around and sign a new contract if Conte's not here. And then what happens then? And the snowball rolling down the hill. So I was like going, well, bigger picture, you probably have to be patient. You probably have to tolerate it because, you know, a manager might be here today, gone tomorrow, but there's certain players that we need to hang around and maybe they don't if Conte goes. But actually, I asked the question because I asked Pete on Sunday because Pete was making the point that he doesn't even think that Harry Kane's playing for Conte. And I said, well, does that mean that you think that if Conte goes, Harry Kane doesn't necessarily not sign the new contract? And Pete, you made the point saying, yeah, like I don't think the two, like a lot of people make that kind of assumption that one comes the other. Yeah, but I'm with you, mate. I think that.
Do you think Harry Kane wants to sign the new contract playing this way?
Exactly.
He's going to be he's got to create his own chances. If he even gets the chance to do that, he's got to play defensive for the first half. Do you know what I mean? Of course he is.
I agree with you, mate.
Guys, I mean, just quickly, I'm going to go through a few comments really, really quickly. Simon has said, yeah, Sean, you missed nothing when you couldn't get your stream. Look, again, sorry, I don't buy into this. Look, Chelsea lost to Man City, right? Arsenal put out a completely different 11 to the weekend, right? So these clubs, and as I said, if Spurs had done that tonight, if you had seen Hill, Spence, Alfie Devine, Papa Sarr, Tanganga, I go, cool, we went out, but we didn't. Just quickly, couple of super chats to go through as well. Dyer, Sanchez, Emerson all start of the weekend, by the way. I'm sure they do. Thank you very much for the super chat.
So will Royal probably.
This I don't agree with because, again, since Conte's been here, he's had some very good players to work with. We've got to stop saying it's the same players when he's got options to try different things. Azad, thank you for another super chat, being very generous tonight. Said Savva, he's lost the dressing room, Conte out. Sean, we talked about this before you joined the stream, mate. Has he simply lost the dressing room at this point?
Oh, it's a tough one, man. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd say no because most of the recent history has shown this like tenacity where we come back from the depths, like from the jaws of defeat, and find a way to scrape it out. I don't think those things happen if the players want him gone. I don't think that happens. I just think that I don't think it's gone that far. Definitely don't think it's gone that far. But
you don't think he's lost?
No, it can't be, mate. Because if the dressing room had gone, fuck you, Conte, then they wouldn't have fought back against Bournemouth. They wouldn't have fought back against Sporting. They wouldn't have fought back against Marseille. They wouldn't have fought back or tried to fight back against Newcastle. If it was that bad in the dressing room, I think that they would have just given up and we would have lost all those games. But the fact that we turned it round in most of those games,
or is it personal pride, Sean?
Right. So hang on. I just want to back onto that point. So Tottenham's first half goals in the last 8 matches. What do you reckon it is in the last 8 matches?
2, 1.
2. Pete?
1.
How many have we scored?
How many have we scored in the first half of our last 8 matches?
I'm going to go for 0.
1.
I'll say 1. Yeah, 1 or 2. 0.
0. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, I know I don't expect this team. I can say this over and over again.
That's awful. That is
I do not expect this team to win trophies. I do not expect this team to be going to Man City and Liverpool and beating these teams. I don't expect that. What I do expect is that when we go to Nottingham Forest reserves, we're not beaten easily. That for 8 games in a row, we don't score in the first half. That for 5 games in a row, we go 2-0 down. People can keep telling me, here you go, here's a question. For all these people in the chat going, let's let another manager try. It's the same players. Who was the last manager where we went 5 games in a row and went 2-0 down in each game?
Not even Nuno did that. Not even Nuno done that.
Right.
Wow. So 0 goals in the first half. And in the last 5 games, we've been 2-0 down.
2-0 down in every game. Sorry, 6 games. The only one we didn't was when we went 1-0 down to Marseille. So 4 league games. Tonight in the Carabao, and then 1-0 down to Marseille in the Champions League.
And let's be honest, the only best team we've played in that run is Liverpool, who are on their worst form in the past 5 years.
And let's take this.
I still think you played pretty well against Liverpool. I'm sorry. I still think. I know that everyone. It's not the right time to be trying to. I know everyone that the mood is like. It's fine. I still think against Liverpool was probably our best game of football in a long time. But that doesn't shake away from the rest of it. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Obviously, you've been a Spurs fan for as long as we have, probably. Do you not get that? Have you not got that feeling that this is the end is near? Be honest with yourself. Have you not got that feeling? Yeah.
No, I do.
We felt it. We felt it many times. I mean, if Conte goes now, or when he does go, we'll be looking for our 5th manager in 5 years. Yeah. Less than 5 years. I think it's 4 years or even 3 years, isn't it? But Poch was sat in 2019, so 3 years, which is a testament to the owners. Yeah, about the strategy and the recruitment and all the rest of it. Yeah. How they pick their man. Yeah, but. So we've had plenty. We've felt that feeling 4 times already. Well, maybe not Mason because he's only 10, but we know that feeling. Yeah,
yeah.
It's there. Yeah, for me, it's been there for weeks.
It is there. 100%.
Just know it. You just wait.
And I also think, like I said, for the first time, I've always been like. I know people present me as Levy out. Oh, sorry, Levy in. I'm not someone who I don't give a fuck about the owners, but I've always defended against the arguments. I never thought the argument was like cogent. But right now, when I see the other news that's happening with Liverpool, if Liverpool get bought by the Dubai Sports Group, and if Manchester United get new investment coming in, we're getting left behind. There's no space, and if you can't beat them, join them. If the top 6-7 teams are all owned by either, oil money or whatever, money from that part of the world, and or have got American owners that come in and bought a distressed asset $1 billion below valuation, and we've got owners that are risk averse. Like, for me, it's probably now or never. January can't come soon enough, but at the same time, I don't expect it to be easy. So if I'm entirely honest, I think that I might be drastic right now and saying, because I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater because I'm angry and emotional. But for me, I feel like new owners, new management, like clear the whole fucking lot out. If Liverpool can get bought for 4 billion and Manchester United can get bought for 4 billion, Tottenham could probably get bought for 4 billion, 4 or 5 billion. And if they can put their club up for sale on the Monday, and by the Tuesday they've got 6 expressions of interest, then surely Tottenham can as well.
So, guys, just quickly, I mean, I want to address this. All I keep seeing is, right, can't win games, can't play decent football when you've got the likes of Davis, Dyer, Sanchez, Royal, Sessegnon, right? Okay, granted. But then why were we playing better football last season is question one. Second of all, as I said earlier, why can't we play a back four of whoever at right back? Doherty, Longley, Romero, Perisic, or something. Why can't we? Because what we're doing right now isn't working. People keep saying to me, "Oh, we won't be able to play with a back four." Well, we're not being able to play with a back five or a back three, whatever you want to call it, guys. So when is the excuse going to stop? He's got plenty of players that can play on the front foot. Plenty of players, and he chooses not to. The stats don't lie there. I'm not a huge stat person, but 8 games in a row with no goal in the first half.
That's a disgusting stat. I've never even heard of that until you just mentioned it.
Absolutely awful. Look, like there's fans like this guy constantly comes in my chat and he laughs and he thinks, he's always going, "Oh my God, yeah, let's blame another manager." And it's like, I'm not blaming this manager for not winning things. I'm blaming this manager for how bad it is to watch. This for me is Nuno territory. This is Nuno territory, what I'm watching. I'll be honest, the odd half here or there where we go, all right, we look decent, but overall, guys, come on. I mean, why is this guy getting so much praise for such bad football? Somebody make it make sense for me. I'm so angry with this.
I don't know, mate. I've got no words tonight. No words tonight, mate. Yeah.
I mean, he's got Kane looking poor. He's got Son looking poor, right? If I said to you, right, take the defense away for one moment. If I said to you, your front 6 players, are going to be Kane, Son, Kulusevski, Bentancur, Basuma, Højbjerg. You cannot tell me that team cannot score a goal in the first half of 8 games. You cannot tell me that. When I'm looking at teams lower down the leagues that play better football than us. I'm so angry by this at the moment.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, it's the comparison with Pochettino again. When Pochettino came in, you remember at the start, he said it was going to be untidy, it was going to be really messy, getting the team to adapt to his style of play and the new style of pressing and everything. And the games were really bad to watch. But you saw little things happening week by week. You thought, oh, yeah, the pressing's starting to work now. I can see where this is going. It's a bit painful. And then it all clicked into place. What I'm seeing now, I don't see where this is going. I feel like we're just doing exactly the same over and over.
Hang on.
If anything, it's getting worse.
Answer this then, Kuva, because Darius has told us that this is just the beginning of great things. What are we seeing that's the beginning of great things? I think we look worse. I think we look like when he joined.
Yeah.
I don't know where you go, right? I understand people that want to be patient. You've got on paper the best manager Tottenham have had since Bill Nick. And so when it's not going right and there's no clear...
No, Jose.
Jose's the best manager on paper we've ever had. Ever.
Okay.
By the way.
Okay.
Ever.
Well, that didn't. I mean, I wasn't that impressed with him, and when he left, I wasn't that sad. But
No, but you look at his CV, Sean. His
No, but
CV
you
doesn't
said
what
on-
he's
you
won
said
in the
on
game.
paper.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair point. But right now, where we are right now, I understand why certain fans would look into the distance, into the ether, and go, "Well, if not him, who?" And then also go, "He's only been here a year. Look at what happened with Arteta in the first 2 years. Everyone at Arsenal wanted Arteta to go. Now look what he's done. Give the guy time." I understand that narrative because it's when you look out and it's a complex thought process to go, well, where do you go after Conte? There's nowhere that's clear. So therefore, let's sit tight, shut up, get patient, and hope for the best. Basically, keep your bollocks crossed, and then sort of do that, and then and hope that the wind's going in the direction that you're feeling. But in reality, I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't want to sit here and watch that sort of football. I'm the guy who always said to you lot, trophies mean everything. To me, it's more about the experience. It's more about the emotion. It's more about the enjoyment of the games and the memories. And this version of football, not for me.
Sean,
Even if it brings trophies, it's still not for me, if I'm honest. Like,
I'm
I'd
a
rather
big
watch
believer,
good football.
right? I can't be a hypocrite. I want to win a trophy more than anything. But if anyone tells me this is going to win trophies when we couldn't even score a goal against Nottingham Forest reserves, who are rock bottom of the Premier League, Nottingham Forest have gone, right, we've got Tottenham coming to our ground, a Champions League team. Tell you what,
Let's put out our B team. Yeah.
Let's put out our B team. They've beaten us comfortably. They'll be in that dressing room now going, just quickly, a super
could have played the C team.
No, by the way, Darius, it's not the same old players. This narrative is not correct. It is not the same old players, right? If you look, I keep hearing this. This has got to stop, right? In the last 3 or 4 windows, we have signed Kulusevski, Richarlison, Bentancur, Basuma, Spence, Longley, Romero, Perisic. This is not all the same players. We can't keep just blaming the same old players because we got... anyway, Leighton, thank you very much. Very generous there. As said, I'm fed up of our delusional fans thinking these players can win anything or get top 4. We are a laughing stock to the rest of the league because of the delusional fans. Our defence ain't built for it. Mate, I mean, I agree. I don't think we're ever going to win anything. But for me, I don't think it... I think what the consensus on the panel is, it's not about winning things. We acknowledge that. But it's about the football is worse than anyone.
Yeah, I literally don't want to watch my team play. And I love watching my team play.
Let's not run before we can walk. Let's play football first before we worry about winning things. We are completely at the rock bottom of that process. Yeah.
Look at this, right? Now, don't get me wrong. We would be murdered at fullback. I don't doubt it.
It's happening anyway. So what's the difference?
Right. This team, imagine flying forward with Spence, Perisic, Kulu, Kane, and Son. I mean, I don't get it. Guys, look, what do we do from here? Where do we go? Are we sticking with Conte? Is this going to be a thing now where the fan base is now going to be divided for the rest of the season? Conte in, Conte out. What needs to happen?
I'll wait until January is the next cab off the rank in terms of moments of the season. That's it, right? We got Leeds. I don't expect much from Leeds. Maybe we'll win, maybe we won't. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen between now and then? But after that, I don't know what team we play late Boxing Day. But again, until things change, then you got January. If nothing happens in January, or if it's undermining, or if it's underwhelming, or if it's a shit show, you're going to see me. I'm already kind of at the point, like I say, I'm not going to be Levy out or Enoch out because I don't want that to be conflicted or conflated with the idea that people who are that way think that Daniel Levy and Enoch have been a shit show, because I don't think they have. But I am probably getting to that point where I'm like, Enoch, sell, time to go. You've taken us as far as you can under this new vision of football that is just controlled by the people that have a disregard for money. But until then, I don't know, mate. I don't necessarily think there's any point in asking Conte to leave until anytime soon, or wanting him to go. I'd like to see what happens in January, but I think that I want to see Paratici take control of that. I want to see Paratici because
I don't.
He's gonna be. Well, I'd rather him do it than Conte, because if Conte's going to come in and say, "I want this guy, that guy, that guy," and then fuck off in February, then I don't want that.
This is the problem. It's that conversation has to happen before any January window, because Daniel Levy is not going to spend any money on any sort of profile of player that Conte wants. If there's any chance he's not going to be here in 6 months, and I hate Levy to death, but I 100% back that decision, because you don't do it. Yeah,
but you still have to sign players in January, though. You still have to. Even if Conte says I'm not signing anything. Yeah.
Then you get rid of him. Then you get rid of him, and you go, right, we'll start this process now. Yeah, we've got a World Cup now. You've got a 4-week break in the season. Sit him down and go, right, what are you doing? Are you in or are you out? If he says, no, I'm not going to sign, right, off. Yeah, do it now. Yeah,
there'll probably be a couple of managers that are relieved from their international duties.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. But even if, for me, I'd go get Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, go and get Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, people say he's not going to win anything. We're not going to win anything as we are. So, but at least we'll see some decent football. Yeah, and a Premier League proven manager who knows how to do it in the league and plays good stuff, and we'll instantly get this team playing better, I believe. Yeah, go and do it, and then once that sort of project's over, then you can look at maybe going somewhere else again. But you cannot give a man money.
You take Brendan Rodgers, would you? If they have a conversation, let's say December the 1st, and Conte says, "I'm not signing any contract with you until you show me, until you put up or shut up," and then Nick says, "Well, I'm not putting up until you sign up," and then they end up going, "Okay, fuck you," and Conte leaves. Your choice of the availables would be Brendan Rodgers, would it?
Yeah, because I don't see where else you go. I don't want to go down this same route that we've been down the third manager, where it's very conservative, sort of sit back, that football. I think we've suffered enough as fans for that. Yeah, we had it under Jose, we had it on Nuno, and now we had it on Conte. You think about, we need someone who's going to start turning it around quickly. He would do that. Do I want Poch back? No. Yeah. Would I take him back at the moment? Yes, but I don't think that's the answer. But it's not. But I can see it happening, because that'll take the pressure off Levy straight away from the fans' point of view, because there's plenty of wet wipes in the fan base that are still crying that he's gone. But you think, who are you going to get? Yeah, you're not going to get someone who's going to win you trophies at the moment. Yeah, very unlikely. You're not going to get a Guardiola. You're not going to get a Klopp. I wouldn't want a Klopp at the moment, because I think he's burnt out. But where are you going to go? Yeah,
but none, I don't think any of them are miracle workers, right? Like Pep Guardiola's never won a trophy with a shit team.
No one is.
Every team he's ever managed has been a team.
But thing is, we're so far
amazing
away,
and B had money.
Yeah, but we're so far away from winning trophies. I think let's not worry about that at the moment. Let's get to playing football. Let's get to being competitive in every game.
I agree.
Let's start playing football, being in the game for both halves for once, scoring in the first half. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Harry Redknapp style. Go back to the days where, imagine we're back in.
Go back to basics. Back to basics.
Yeah.
The first thing a new manager does, Brendan Rodgers comes in tomorrow. He goes, right, no more back three, bollocks to that. No more Emerson roll, bollocks to him. Yeah, we're going to go free midfield. Yeah, and I go forward at the back, and we're going to play. If we lose, we lose. Yeah, but eventually we'll get better players in.
Let me ask you that.
I'm up for that.
This for all three of you. If we had a Harry Redknapp, and I'm not talking about now. If Harry Redknapp in his prime came over, shouldn't say that.
I loved Harry Redknapp days.
Came to Spurs now. He takes this squad, Sean.
Yeah.
Fans in the chat are seriously telling me that Redknapp would be playing the way Conte is.
Oh, don't be silly. No. Never in a million years.
Right. Now, no one said those exact words, but what I'm hearing from everyone in the chat is, doesn't matter who the manager is, this lot can't play. I don't believe that.
I don't agree with that.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We will find out. I don't want Thomas Frank, by the way. I think that's for me, that's sort of, I remember people saying before Conte, Steven Gerrard, because he did well at Rangers. I think that's got that sort of vibes to it. Prove yourself a bit higher up the table before you go down that road. I could be wrong, but that's not something. I don't want to go that far down. I would have gone Potter if he was around, if he was still at Brighton, but now he's not. Ship's out. So I think you've got to go somewhere where you know you're going to get decent football. You know someone who can put a team together and get them playing well. Start there and then worry about the rest after.
There'll be a manager that drops out of the World Cup early, like I don't know, Luis Enrique. Not that I want a Van Gaal, but there'll be a big
I don't
team.
think I want an international manager, to be honest. I think that's a big transition to get back into. Not our expense. Let him go back to managing a club, then come to us. Not unless he's got a real proven track record. Do you know what I mean?
Just quickly, there's 300 of you in the chat and only 100 likes. So thank you, first of all, for sticking with us. I'll be honest, when Kuva and I started, we started with about 30 people in the chat. And Spurs
since I turned up, they won't come in.
This is the funny thing, right? When I
came in and the real fucking boost came on.
Yeah. It's your good looks, Sean. Look, guys.
Whippet fan club arrived.
I think the problem is when Spurs fans are debating whether it's us talking on the internet like this, whether or not, on video like this, whether or not it's in a WhatsApp chat, a Facebook group, whatever, YouTube chat. I feel that when people ask people a question, there's no narrative to it. And what I mean by that is when people are going to me now, well, which manager comes in and wins? That's not where I am with this club right now. I don't believe any manager in world football comes in and wins things like you said, Pete. I do believe, though, there are managers that come in that don't play this god-awful style of football. Now, this style is pragmatic. We know that, right? And to pull off pragmatic, you've got to have very good players. I just fail to believe that there isn't another manager out there that can't get more out of these footballers. Because even Conte got more out of them last year. So I feel, for me, he has lost this dressing room. I think he has 100%. Lost it. And we said it at the beginning of the season, Pete, when everyone was getting ecstatic. We're level with Man City. We're this, we're that. We said this isn't sustainable. It's not, and it's you can't play bad every week. You can't.
Yeah, I don't think it's possibly saying lost the dressing room. Sounds like they're in revolt against him. I don't think it's like that. I think it's just they're just not bothered. They're not motivated.
No, they're demotivated.
But would you be, Kuva, would you be motivated to play his tactics as a footballer?
No, of course not. It's bollocks.
Right. So all these people going, this great manager, blah, blah, blah. Have they ever stopped to think that the players don't want to do this? The players
don't get in football to play that football, do you?
No.
You might as well have a team of centre-halves.
Ryan said the football under Jose was better, and that's what worries me.
Exactly, 100%, with worse players.
I remember us scoring a lot of goals under Jose Mourinho. I just don't know. I honestly don't know. Stephanie I, welcome, has said Conte's style is outdated. 16-17 was a different era. Time has moved on. He can't win a Premier League ever again. Well, guys, this goes back to what we said at the beginning of the show. I don't know which top club in world football, other than an Italian one, takes Antonio Conte when he leaves. Sorry, I don't. Man United won't want him. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City. Maybe he's been at Chelsea.
Liverpool won't have him.
Liverpool wouldn't. Bayern Munich wouldn't. PSG wouldn't. This style.
I speak to fans on rival shows. I say, would you swap your manager for Conte, or if you didn't have your current manager, would you take Conte as your next? Every single one of them, Man United fans, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, they all say, even Newcastle fans say, no way, don't want Conte.
I know Chelsea fans, and they said, look, you won't enjoy the football, but you might win some games, but you won't enjoy the football. Yeah, and they won the fucking league. Do you know what I mean?
It's not what it's about for me. I don't want to win the trophy if it means it's boring to.
While they won the league, they got to watch Eden Hazard in his prime. So that's a joy to watch in itself. And I said, then people say, well, he won this, he won that at Chelsea, but then you got to take his whole time at Chelsea. He went from that to that in 2 years. You know
I don't want that. To me, watching Tottenham is more than about lifting a trophy. Like, it's about the enjoyment of the season. And
yeah, I want trophies. Don't get me wrong, but I can't be like that. I mean, I've some of my fondest memories, obviously not when we've won trophies because we've hardly won any, but like since I've been alive. But like I remember being at 6-4 at Reading. That game was nuts. 4 rules
Yeah.
at Chelsea and having like 15 people in the south stand and in the Paxton land on me head. Do you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. Yeah, nuts
The best
games.
times. The best
Yeah,
times.
nuts games. Yeah, and
Came
games
away
were
with a
fun as well.
fractured skull, but what a memory. Yeah.
Yeah, not getting covered in a cup of tea or something. But there you go. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I want to win. Don't get me wrong, but you don't go from 0 to 60 in the time with what we've got. Yeah, it's like trying to come. We're like you have to build the car first and get all the parts. Yeah, you can't turn up in a Skoda and expect to race a Ferrari. Ain't gonna happen. Yeah, you got to upgrade it bit by bit, but you got to start playing football first. Let's play football first.
But you've also got to have a good driver as well, right? Even if you've got the Ferrari, if you've got a bad driver, or if you've got the Skoda and you've got the good driver, you need to have both, right?
Yeah, these players are not motivated to play this way. Yeah, you can see it. Their body language is everything. You look at Kane. Yeah.
Oh, they don't want to play.
Runs through brick walls for this club. Yeah. Forget what everyone says about him. Yeah. And he should be doing this, should be doing that. Yeah. He cannot carry the team any more than what he has done over the last years. But even he's had enough of playing this way. It's this. Well, I said this before. When you play this, it's the way Conte was doing it. Even last season, it's got a very short shelf life because eventually the players will revolt. So like, I don't want to do this. So you have to win and win quickly. It happened with Mourinho. We were top of the league. Everyone, all the players were happy doing it. As soon as results started to turn, it changed very quickly.
Can I just answer, just really quickly answer this party after party? Again, this is what lots of Spurs fans don't get. His tactics will win trophies when he's given the best players. Yeah.
Exactly.
When you look at his team at Juve, you look at his team at Chelsea, you look at his team at Inter Milan, he had top players all over the park. The point is this: if Spurs were going to give that to him, I can sit through and watch this football.
I can't.
Right? Hang on, just then I would begrudgingly sit through and watch this football. But we're not going to do that party after party. He's not going to get the players he wants here. So the point Pete was making earlier...
But Savva, like tonight's team, whatever the tactics were, tonight's team is better than Forest. Last weekend's team is better than Bournemouth, better than Marseille, better than Frankfurt, right? Better than Newcastle. Maybe Newcastle's a bit of a closer one, but it's still better than Newcastle. I think we should do a stack rank, like a Premier League stack rank, to figure out where everyone feels about how good our squad is relative to everyone else's. But it's about 5th or 6th or 4th, somewhere around there. So when you can't beat the bottom team, it's not about... I don't think that like the idea that, if you give Conte the best tools, he'll win a trophy. He's got enough tools to be able to beat that game tonight, to win that game.
Agreed. That's Sean. That's it for me. When, as I said, when we get battered, when we lose to a mediocre Man United team, I can accept fans backing him. Even when we get battered by Liverpool, you think, okay, they're not on form, so not battered. But when we lose to Liverpool, they're not on form, but it's still Liverpool. But when we're seeing games like we did against Marseille, against Bournemouth, against Nottingham Forest reserves, it can't just be, the players are crap, because are we saying Nottingham Forest's 11?
As I said earlier, how long has Harry Kane been shit for then? Because it's news to me.
Right, here you go, guys. Nottingham Forest's 11, right? How many of these were playing Premier League football last season? Wayne Hennessy, right? Serge Aurier, Worrell, Bolly, Lodi, Yates, Mangala, O'Brien.
That only Falls Norse's characters.
Surridge, Awoniyi, and Lingard.
I only recognise 5 of those names, if I'm honest.
Right.
6 of those names.
And yet everyone will come in the chat and go, it's not Conte. Conte's got Longley, who plays for France, right? Eric Dyer, who was in the last England team, right? He's got Yves Bissouma, who's been brilliant in the Premier League for years. Højbjerg, who's been good this year and very good for Denmark. Even Perisic, who won the league last year or whatever it was. Harry Kane, yeah? Even before tonight's game, when you have Heung-min Son, Richarlison, Romero, it doesn't matter which of these players are playing. It's as bad week in, week out. I just can't understand how he gets so much praise. I'm baffled by it.
Stop you there. The Conte excuse tonight was our players were tired. That's what he said in his press conference.
Didn't Nottingham Forest play on the weekend as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Um,
That's why you make changes. That's what
That's
also
why
happens.
you make changes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bob,
that's all that
Bob
happens when you
Spur,
have a fat thing where you don't have to chase the ball all the time.
Bob Spurs asked a question to the panel. He said, "Is the football worse than last season under Conte?" 100%. That's a fact. But what is the reason, guys?
So it's not a question then, Bob, sir. Question for the panel, but I'm going to answer it in my question.
But Bob, listen, Kuva, I'll come to you first. This is the thing, right? Everyone who's constantly saying it's the players. We had a lesser squad last year and we're playing better football. How has it got so bad so quick?
It's like an extra long new manager bounce, wasn't it? It feels like we had the bounce last season and then now going through the motions. That's what it feels like to me. You don't see the enthusiasm, the joy of playing. Even it's just not there when the players take the pitch. I'll see just a miserable bunch of players not getting to play with any expression or creative freedom. That's the way it looks to me anyway. I'm certainly not enjoying it, and it's reflected by the looks on the players' faces to me. And I'm not the only one saying that, making that observation.
The best part about when a manager leaves, Cove, is that everybody, whenever the new manager comes in, everyone gets a little moment of excitement and anticipation of like what might be, even though ultimately it always comes up short, and ultimately we always get let down. Like if Conte was to leave and there was to be a decent name that was to come in over Christmas, we'd all spend the next 3 or 4 weeks getting super excited about what might be under the new model,
I mean, Sean, the thing for me here is, I mean, this excuse about tired, and he said, I have to manage the situation with Højbjerg and Bentancur because they were tired. Cool. You're in the League Cup, yeah? Put in Skip and Sarr in centre mid. Put in Skip and Sarr and Spence, and then when we lose, we go, okay, get it. He played a really weak team. But he chose to play them.
Thing is,
he made that choice. All other clubs, Arsenal went out, but you look at Arsenal's 11. Only Saliba from the weekend played. They play a weakened team.
I think as well, it's important we don't even make light of the scoreline, because if it wasn't for Fraser Forster having a blinder, we would have lost by a lot more tonight.
Agreed.
But let's be honest, this football isn't new. We saw this many times last season. Yeah, think of Brighton at home, Brentford away, Burnley. There was another team in there. Many times we saw this performance last season. I mean, it was a run where when we were flying and then we surrendered the 4th place to Arsenal, lucky to get it back. We was on a right shit run. The football was dreadful. We were saying, hang on a minute, something's not. What's going on here? And then it was the players and blah blah blah. And you could say, fair enough, they're not playing his way. Thing is, when you got someone who manages like Conte and sets up like that, the players will tolerate it for so long. Because then in the summer, you had to get in the players to keep it going. Yeah, you needed to get in the proper fullbacks and all that. Yeah, to keep it going. Because then the players go, right, I don't like it, but I can see the reasoning behind it, and it's delivering results and performances. But we didn't do that. So then all of a sudden, we're going into this season. Now, I said this in the window. This is what's going to happen. Red flags. That's my favourite phrase. Savva, you remember I said, red flags all over the place.
Everywhere, mate.
Red flags every week. Yeah, every part pre-season game, red flags, because we were playing the same team that finished last season, and the new players weren't even getting in pre-season. Something's not right. Red flags galore.
Guys,
and then it escalates to this point.
If we lose to Leeds at the weekend, does he have to go? I'm just asking a question. Does he have to go if we lose?
He doesn't have to, but if he did, if he walked, I'd be okay with it.
Right. Are we at the stage now, Sean, where look, I've held back from actually coming out live on stream and saying Conte out, right? I have said
I'm not Conte out, but I am. If Conte walks, I'm like, okay, see you later, bro. Like every single person that is involved in Tottenham Hotspur today, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, Conte, all of them, the lot of them. There will be a time when they've played their last game, they've kicked their last ball, they've signed their last check and they pick their last team. And I'll still be here as long as I'm above ground. I will still support Tottenham Hotspur. None of these fuckers mean that much to me. Tottenham Hotspur will always be my home. And so I'm not that attached. And if managers hold owners to ransom or owners say, fuck you, whatever, like none of us can control that shit. But at the moment, Conte, it sounded great on paper. Everyone got excited. At the moment, I'm seeing the worst football that I've seen that I can remember since before Martin Jol, if I'm honest. Maybe there was one day Ramos in between, but there's not that many managers in between. Like
at least Ramos delivered a
2008.
trophy. At least Ramos delivered a trophy doing it.
In the last 14 years, in the last 14 years, though, I can't remember much more consistently woeful football. And to me, watching the game is more important than lifting the trophy. And so if Conte was to say, I'm done, I can't, like, fuck the fans, fuck the whatever. If he wanted to go, all right, see you later, mate. Take care. Like, I don't care about you. There's someone else will come in and hopefully they'll do better. But
I'm Conte out. I'm Conte out because he will not be flexible in any way. We've seen it. Yeah, we've seen it since he's been here. If he was a bit flexible, I'd say fair enough. And then if he went, okay. But I'm at the point, I know he's not going to change. He's not going to try anything different because he's had plenty of time to do it now, and he ain't done it. So then for me, he has to go because it's not going to change.
There's a lot of Conte out in your chat, Sam.
I want change. Yeah, if it comes in Conte being flexible, wakes up tomorrow and goes, right, I'm ripping up my three at the back and I'm going forward at the back, and there's change in that respect. Exactly. Yeah. I'm happy. Yeah, I want change. That means he has to go. So be it.
I'm with Steve D. I'm not gonna sit here and say I want him out because I don't think there'll be any plan. There's never a plan at Spurs. But like Sean just said, if he turned around and said, right, here's my resignation, I'd go, okay, I'll get your coat for you for the cloakroom.
See you, bro. Yeah, see you later.
Listen, as I said, as a Spurs fan, guys, we're used to not winning things. As a Spurs fans, like most other football clubs in the pyramid, we're used to losing games, right? But there's a way to do it. And what we're seeing at the moment, there's no heart, there's no substance, there's no style of play. You don't know who's going to be our wing back from one week to the next. You don't know what the centre-back pairing is going to be. Now, everyone's tired. At the weekend, it was annoyed that the fans booed. Guys, I genuinely don't know because we beat Leeds Saturday, right? Sorry, if we beat Leeds at the weekend, it will suddenly be, oh, there you go, Conte in. I just can't deal with the football. I can't, guys. I can't.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing, mate. Listen, at the end of the day, I know that in terms of like banter from the rivals, like if you spend time hanging around Arsenal fan when you're around the water cooler at work or whatever, or if you go on other channels and they have this ammunition, they have this leverage over you, like every time you're playing, like you're playing them, when was the last time you won shit? I get it. Like that's a pain and it's a knife in everyone's side. But ultimately, lifting a trophy or seeing whoever it is lift the trophy for Tottenham, that's like a moment. That's a 60-second moment where you celebrate, you have a beer, you high-five, you're happy. The trophy gets taken away, gets put into a cabinet, and then you get back to work. Watching a game of football every 3 days, or hopefully every 3 days for 9 months of the year, is, for me, far more important than getting it done in a shit way so that you can lift the trophy, just so you can have bragging rights over your mates at work. For me, it's about the style, the way that you approach the game. I remember when Leeds had Bielsa, right? I was like, I know he's not the answer because he's too gung-ho as a manager, but like if you're a Leeds fan, you've watched some fucking brilliant games of football in the last 2-3 years. If you've gone to Ellen Road every week, you might have lost more than you won or whatever, but they've rarely been boring games of football. When I buy tickets on the ticket exchange, then wake up in the morning and go, you know what, I can't be fucked to go, actually. I don't even know why I bought that because it's pissing with rain and all I'm going to do is get on the train and go up there and I'm going to watch 90 minutes of snooze fest. I want to get back to the days where, like, whether it was Redknapp, whether it was Martin Jol, those times, Pochettino, where you look forward to Tottenham games. And like Kuva said earlier, like, it's not fun. I'm not looking forward to the time. I worry about the next time we're playing football. Shit. Tomorrow we got to play Leeds. Tomorrow we got to play Arsenal. Tomorrow, it's rather than awesome. Can't wait. Tomorrow we're playing. You know,
and you know, Sean, even if we win one of those games that you're not looking forward to, you know it's going to be
Boring.
a boring, turgid affair, right?
Stressful at best, boring at worst.
Yeah, the amount of times now I have to ask somebody who we're going to play at the weekend because I just don't give a shit about looking for it anymore. I used to obsessively go for our fixture list thinking, oh, yeah, we could do that. That'll be a great game. I'll plan something for that weekend and things like that. Now it's just nothing. I'm used to our club. What it always meant to me was we'd go out and win things. We'd win in style. We'd win with flourish. It was really important. The style of football was massively important to this club. And it's just been washed away. And we've replaced it with absolutely nothing. We've got a nothing style of football that isn't going to win anything anyway. What is the point? Get our football back at least.
Exactly.
That's something to watch.
And Kuva, this is why comments like this make me laugh. When I hear y'all sound like you want to keep losing 70 some days without a manager, and you all want a world-class manager out after the players were arse cabbage. I'm sorry, but when we say here we all want a world-class manager, I'm sorry, world-class managers do not have their teams playing like this week in, week out.
They don't pick Emerson Royal.
Right? They simply don't. Guys, for me, it's the fact, I think something that Pete said earlier, if Conte had tried 4 at the back for 3 or 4 games, tried attacking for 3 or 4 games, if he had tried all these different things and it hadn't worked, you turn around and go, cool, the guy's tried everything. But he does not move away from playing 3 centre-halves when, right, this is my theory, guys. I've said it to you before. Our weakest area is defence. Why pack it with more weak players? Get more players in who are effective in midfield and going forward. Have a back 4 so that you've got more players going forward. Yes, we will let goals in, but a newsflash for you all: we're letting goals in now anyway. Yeah. Right? It's not like we're boring, but not conceding. We are a shambles at the back. So for me, try things. If it doesn't work, we all then go, right, this is on the board. He's tried everything, this guy, but I don't see what he's doing that's world class. I don't get it. What is world class?
It's bad. It's bizarre, isn't it? It's just absolutely bizarre. What makes you laugh now is you're out, say it's Saturday, right? Or say it's Sunday, you're at 4 and then we're on 4 o'clock. Your missus goes, can we go to IKEA? And you normally go, as long as we're back by 4, I'm all right. Now you'd go, as long as we're back by 5 for the second half, I'll be all right. You know, we can go. I don't mind missing the first half.
Mate, absolutely. I'm at that stage now where if I have to miss a game for a reason, I'm like, okay.
All right. Yeah, so be it. Yeah. It's always, right. I'll catch my Z's later.
Mate, but do you know what? Normally, even like using your analogy, if ever I was out with the missus and Spurs were on, I'd be like, right, you do what you got to do. I'm finding a bar. I'll meet you after. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to find a way of watching it. Now I'm kind of like, if I am in that situation, I'm like, oh, what? I don't care. Even if we win 1-0, it's going to be crap. And like Kuva said, we need to get some form of football back to this club. Get fans enjoying being Spurs fans again. Guys, he's not for me.
Who's the manager for you, Savva?
I think we've missed the managers that would have been for me.
Yeah.
What, Ten Hag?
I would have gone for Ten Hag. I would have gone for a Graham Potter. Look, the way I see it is this.
You might catch Graham Potter on the reload, though. I don't know if he'll be at Chelsea for much longer. Like if he doesn't turn it around for them, I think that Todd Bowley kind of fellow is a bit of a trigger happy. Like, you know, I'd be interested to know what the odds were for Graham Potter to be around by next season. Because if it's if the odds of him getting sacked before the end of the season are 20-1 or higher, I think I'd have a cheeky tenner on that.
I think he'll get another window. I think he'll get the January window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eddie Howe's the other one we've missed.
Eddie Howe's amazing. Yeah, he's so good. He's so good.
But this for me is we talked about this on the weekend, guys. This for me is the big one. All these people in the chat going, look at the terrible players he's taken over. How poor were most of Eddie Howe's team under Steve Bruce for 2 years, bottom of the table, not won a game.
He's done it in a year. In 12 months, he's turned Newcastle from a shit show into the real deal. And Conte couldn't turn Tottenham. Look, Tottenham were better than Newcastle when he inherited. Like Tottenham's whatever Conte inherited of Tottenham was far better than what Eddie Howe inherited from Newcastle.
For sure.
They spent the same amount of money. They spent 200 million.
I was about to say that they've not spent oil money.
They spent 200 million quid a pop. Yeah. It's the same. I think there's like 5 million difference, right? We had this conversation on Sunday. There's no real difference. So, and also anyone that's played, like again, I was seeing it in the thing. Like once again, it doesn't matter how like shit some of our players are. They're better than the 20th best team in the Premier League in Nottingham Forest, and it's not even their first team; it's their reserves. So like, there's no excuse for losing 2-0 to Nottingham Forest reserve team. It's not Daniel Levy's fault. Daniel Levy's responsible for a lot, but not that.
Savva, 10:42, not so Spursy. Tuchel is not the answer, mate. No.
Oh no, Tuchel's not the one.
Yeah, that's more of what we've just had, what we're having now. Yeah. Look, we need to stop. We need to stop that pragmatic manager route. Yeah, let's just leave that where it is. We've had it. Play football.
I keep hearing this from people that it's the downfall when Conte goes. I'm sorry. Are we on an upward trajectory at the moment?
Yeah.
Am I not seeing something that others in the fan base are going, oh, this is special? Because what I'm seeing is a manager that, yes, got us fourth last year in a very poor league, by the way. In a very poor league. We pipped Arsenal by a point. I now see a team that is in a pack of 6 or 7 other clubs chasing that top 4, and a team that's just lost to Nottingham Forest reserves, that hasn't scored a first half goal for 8 games. It's gone 2-0 down 5-6 games in a row. What downfall? I don't care what the difference between 4th and 7th or 8th for me doesn't mean anything when I'm watching what I'm watching right now, lads. Is that am I being silly with that?
We're watching Emerson Royal every week. Where does it go down from there? Do you know what I mean? That's your baseline, mate. The only way is up.
It's like, where does your love of football come from? Is it from seeing a result in a paper or online somewhere once? Or is it from actually watching the game and enjoying what you're seeing?
Right.
Is it from playing in the back garden with your dad when you're a kid? It is for me.
I mean, Ken, this isn't true, Ken, is it? I mean, yes, we didn't win anything with these two, but give me their football over what we're watching right now any day of the week. Harry Redknapp on Champions League nights had the club bouncing.
Oh, mate, I went to Madrid not Madrid, Milan. On both games, the AC Milan and the Inter Milan group game. It was fucking nuts, mate.
Amazing.
It was
and that's it, mate. I wasn't in Milan, but I can remember being in a nightclub in the city of London one night. A broker friend of mine took me out. I remember everything about that night. I remember who I went with, the girl I kissed at the end of the night. I remember celebrating in front of the big screen. I remember, and it was just in a random shit.
At the end of the night.
Yeah. I remember everything about it because that was a memory. The Milan away game when we won 1-0 with Peter Crouch sliding across and getting that goal. I remember going mental. I got soaked in beer. I remember throwing a bottle of Budweiser over an Arsenal guy that was in the pub. Everything about that night is a memory that will live with me forever. I don't remember much about the night we lifted the trophy in 2008. I don't remember those things. For me, it's about the memories and the moments, and that starts with the magic of the football, and that's what I want to get back to.
Guys, can I ask you a question? I don't know why I'm asking you. If I can ask you, I'm going to ask you. So we're talking about the downfall here from when Conte leaves, and the answer that's come back is, well, Kane will leave, Son will leave, Romero will leave. I'm sorry, guys. With how we're playing at the moment, even with Conte in charge, are you telling me that if these players wanted to leave without Conte being there, they want to stay for this?
I'd say if this stays like this, that'll only accelerate their departure, not prevent it.
For sure. For sure. And what I do want to caveat that so that I'm not hypocritical, people have to realise it is not their decision if they want to leave this football club. Yeah? When
the contract comes to an end, it is. But before then, no. Yeah.
Agreed. But that's my point, right? So, but if I'm Romero, we talked about this earlier in the stream, Sean. If you're Romero, you've got no loyalty to Tottenham at all. have you?
No, he's already proved that.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're Kane right now, if I'm Kane in that dressing room, I'm looking and thinking, the football's got awful. We're not buying quality players. We're not challenging anytime soon.
He's leaving anyway, isn't he? He's leaving
I'm
anyway.
30. I'm 30 in the summer. This is my exit. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm Kane,
Regardless of
this
whether
goes
Conte
straight to
signs a new
Conte.
contract or not, even if Conte signs a contract tomorrow morning, I would still think that Harry Kane would go.
Yes,
I'm good.
he's not
I'm
stupid.
good. I'm
He's
good.
given
Thanks.
up.
Yeah.
We needed to be sort of knocking on the door now with the window we were supposed to have. Everyone said we did have, what we didn't.
But yeah, but Pete, even if we signed four more players or the 7 that we bought were all better, I still don't. I don't. If we were top of the table under Mourinho, we were top of the table until Christmas, right? Until that Liverpool game, and then we fell off. I still didn't enjoy the football. I still didn't enjoy it.
No,
I agree.
I agree. If there was games, they weren't great at times, but it was effective. Yeah, but
we go 1-0 up in the 10th minute, and then we spend 80 minutes with parking the bus. And occasionally in the second half, occasionally we'd hang on in the first half of the season. Most of the time in the second half, we get picked off. I didn't like it. It was boring.
Okay, but no, it was boring. But what it was okay. We can suffer this if it yields a trophy, and we were at that time we were top, so we thought we give this a go because we've never done that before.
Well, you might have held that. You might have held that, but me personally,
that was the general consensus from what I gathered on the fan base. Look, it's not great, but we can clearly see what he's doing. Bearing in mind, he didn't have the players to play his way. He didn't get any backing at all from the owners. Let's be honest. The best player he got was Højbjerg. Yeah, he had to deal with all the shit that was left from Poch's window with Sessegnon and Lo Celso, Dele Alli dropping off a cliff, Ericsson wanting to leave, and Dombele, who was crap. He had to deal with all that, and still managed to get us top of the league come late December. And then it all went down. It all went pear-shaped. Yeah, we know that, right? But so then we were saying, okay, we're suffering this, but we're beating Arsenal at home. We're beating Man City. We're not losing to Chelsea. We're going to Man United, beating them 6-1. We tore Southampton, who won not before that. Yeah, so it was like, right, fine. This is the first we've gone down this road. Let's see what happens. It didn't work out, whatever reason. And then we gone to Nuno after that. Shouldn't have, but have. Who's equally style of football, and then from there we gone to Conte, which is equal style of football, where none of them play football on the front foot. So the fan base, we've
at least there's continuity, I guess.
Yeah, no. As a fan base, we've suffered that for too long. It's time to do a U-turn and pick a manager who plays. Because let's be honest, you can't recruit players, say, yeah, come play for us, but you're going to spend 98% of the game without the ball. You ain't going to recruit top players doing that. You might be able to get good centre halves if you're lucky, but no, you ain't going to go to James Madison going, yeah, I know your skill set, you need to have the ball, but you ain't going to have
100%,
it. Yeah,
100%.
You're not going to do it.
For me, like this idea that Daniel Levy is at fault, Enix at fault for hiring this flip-flop philosophy or there's no philosophy where you go from a manager that has one style, one formation, and then when that doesn't work, you pivot to another back 4, back 5, wing backs versus going through the middle, all that crap, right? And I understand the narrative that we need to have continuity of philosophy. For me, I'm willing for one last pivot after Conte. I want to pivot back to a front foot philosophy. And then whoever that manager is, from that point on, then you install the philosophy. Go from now on, whatever happens, the next manager.
This is what we do.
We're not buying a big name because he's popular. If it means we go back to a back 5 and a negative, it's always going to be a front foot philosophy.
But that's the Spurs way. But I know what you say about the owners, but Daniel Levy put out a statement saying that very same thing.
Yeah.
We realised we're going to do it, and then went and done complete opposite. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, I agree.
Forget Conte. Conte came with reputation. Yeah. So.
Couple of quick things, guys. First of all, Willie Cap, listen, I agree with this. Injury excuses, blah, blah, blah. But 5-3-2 against Nottingham Forest is disgusting. I agree. This is what I mean. People are saying he's got no choice. He chose to go to Nottingham Forest, to a bottom of the table, to play their B team and still wanted 5 defenders and 3 defensive midfielders. He could have, you know what? If he had gone out there tonight and gone, all right, I'm going to go 4-3-3. My forward 3 is going to be Kulusevski, Kane, Hill or Perisic or whatever, you go, God, at least try and attack. And here's a stat for you guys. You know, you liked the stat about the no goals in the first half.
Yeah.
In the last 630 minutes of football,
Okay.
right?
Where are you going with this one?
in the last 630 minutes of football, do you know how many minutes Spurs have been in front of a game?
0.
About 2
Zero?
minutes.
Oh yeah,
Was that
because
the-
the only game
the
we
one
ever
at
won was
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. But it was
About
the last.
2 minutes.
That was the last kick of the game, wasn't it? It was the last kick of the game.
Officially,
Right.
3 minutes of our last 630. This is what I mean. The excuses. Look, here's another. Rovshan's another one, just constantly in my chat telling me how Conte's great.
That's
We
not
don't
going
score goals. We don't score goals in the first half. We play 5 defenders against anyone. It doesn't matter if they're bottom of the league or not. We can't beat the bottom of the league. The bottom of the league's B team. We've been in front for 3 minutes of the last 630. We've been
That's 0.5%. So
We've been-
99.5% of our last 10 hours, 10 and a half
Shocking.
hours of football, we have not been in front.
It is. It
That's
is
so bad.
shocking, but yet still, yeah, still, he is backed to the hilt. Now, don't get me wrong. No one for me has to come out and say Conte out. I'm not bothered by that, but he never gets any blame. Tonight, every fan in this club should be saying that was diabolical. That's on the manager. But still, all I'm getting is blame Levy. I can guarantee.
What did you guys think of Jed Spence though? Because I only saw, like I say, my screen was jumping around. It was a nightmare to watch. But from what I saw, everyone was asking to see him, and from what I saw, I didn't think he did anything. But I don't know if I missed.
I saw a couple of moments. He had a good header. He had a couple of good runs. I could tell you what I do know from watching him for the 7 minutes he was on. He's better than Emerson Royal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what the
So
difference
you'd
is?
start him against Leeds, would you?
He's a front foot player.
Him or Doherty, yeah.
He's a front foot player. Let's be really honest about this. There may be some deficiencies in his game because he's young. There may be some deficiencies defensively. But you know what? If I've got a right wing back that attacks and can cross, and I can forego some of that at the beginning. But the fact that we're sitting here having to debate between Emerson Royal, and Matt Doherty and Jed Spence, right, is that for me does sit with Levy and Paratici. That does. Those sort of things.
Jed Spence brought on that same sort of energy that Brian Hill has in the last couple of games, coming on, taking it to the opposition. It really driving at them.
So we won't see him again.
No, of course not.
Because Hill did it, and that was the biggest thing for me tonight. Not only the result, because the result was shit, but to be honest, I can handle losing them games. We've done it enough. I remember Colchester a few years ago going there and stinking the gaff out and losing on penalties. But there was an opportunity to put in. If we're that tired, you've got players on the bench. Yeah, at some point in the season, we're going to have to use these players because after the World Cup, it's all hands to the pump. Yeah, we got League, Champions League. If we stayed in this competition, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, yeah, you will have to use these players because you cannot put your strongest team out every week. So today was a perfect example to go, right, you, Sar, we've never seen you, free hit, off you go, yeah? Even for a half, yeah? Let's be honest, that's our speciality anyway. Then you can bring the big guns on if you have to try and save the day, yeah? Hill, you've done well lately. I think you deserve a shirt because we all said it. You deserve to have a go, yeah? No, yeah? Skip came on. Spence, you've been brought to this. You've done nothing. You've had to watch an absolute cart horse play in front of you every week. You have a go, yeah? And then, at least then, we come out today's game, right? We might have lost it, but we've seen these players. We know a bit more about them by then. I can't tell how good Papa Matasar is. Can you?
Pete, we've still got fans saying, I want whoever is going to win us trophy. How any fan thinks that we are even close to a trophy or thinks that this is going to win us trophies is unbelievable. Why do football fans like football? Why do I think Kuva,
It's
you
an
always
escape,
use-
mate. It's an escape. It's like a lot.
Right.
Most people have like very little going on in their lives that allow them to feel happy or to feel emotional or to be able to release their emotions. Right? Maybe they've got to suppress their love or their hate or whatever. And football's a way for them to distance themselves from the stresses in their own lives. And they want to have passion that they can throw out there without any kind of reservation. And at the moment, for me, Tottenham is like a bottleneck on that. For me personally, the football that we're playing, I've got so much stress in my own life. I want to watch Tottenham as a release and be able to be 100% pure emotion. And yet the style of football is like a bottleneck to the point where I'm banging my fucking hands on the table and embarrassing myself in front of thousands of people every week by effing and blinding. And it's yeah.
Hang on.
Sean, just a second. Can you be our chairman, mate, if we have a whip round?
Guys, let me just address Ken 11. Right, Ken 11. This is where fans with your opinion, right? We're so far away from winning a trophy that this isn't a question. No manager right now is coming to this club and winning us a trophy. No manager. I'll put my hat on that. No one. But the point we're getting at is Conte's not winning us a trophy. No one's winning us one. So why in the meantime do we have to watch this god-awful, turgid style of football? If we're not winning trophies, at least have a go. At least try and get some possession of a football. At least stop passing sideways, backwards. At least get the wing backs flying forward. So when we're talking about enlighten me, no one, but hardly anyone anymore wants to watch this style of play. And they're two very different conversations, right, guys, as to winning trophies and style of play. They're two very different things.
This feels a bit like a coming out show now because I'm going to put my cards on the table and say, fuck it. I'm thinking Conte out as well now.
That's it, mate. Come on.
I just do not see the point.
So you've gone from Conte into Conte out. I've gone from Levy into Levy out.
Look at the state of
What else
this,
are we
though.
talking about here?
How do people
Full transitions happening tonight.
I
just refuse to watch this bullshit any longer. I'm done.
But fans like this deserve it. I'll say it. I always say it. I get in trouble for saying it. Fans like this deserve it because he's replying to someone saying, like we played attacking football under Redknapp and Poch and won nothing. Ken, we're not winning anything playing like this under Conte. We just lost to the bottom of the league's B team. Convincingly as well. We weren't in the game. I don't get it. Why would fans not want to watch football? Why do they want to watch this?
I've said it. I've said this one before, and I say it again. You know how bad the football is because your missus will be pissed off with you. You're being a right dog ass, but she'll make sure you watch you can watch the game. Yeah. Do you want to watch the game, babe? Yeah, go on, watch the game. Yeah. You watch that because she knows what torment the torment you're going to suffer for that 90 minutes is more than any year-old bashing she can inflict on you. Do you know what I mean? Tottenham are doing the job for them. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, look. Do you know what? I've gone from a guy tonight that didn't want Poch back in any way, shape, or form. If I woke up tomorrow and Poch was in charge and Conte wasn't, I'd be happier than I've been for ages supporting Tottenham. And I don't even want Poch. That's how bad it is. I want managers I don't even want. Do you know what I mean?
But listen, but Savva, imagine if you woke up tomorrow morning, right? You go to bed in like half an hour's time, and you wake up at 9 o'clock and you turn on the news. You back page of the Daily Mail, Conte out, Poch in, and there's a picture of him holding up the shirt. Just like, even though it might not be the solution, you know there's going to be a little like, a little buzz, a little bit of like butterflies going through you, thinking we're going to play some fucking football.
Well, I tell you what,
agreed,
it's not going to go anywhere.
At the moment, right, I'll be having a tug at that at the moment if that was happening. That's how bad things are.
Sorry, I have to when people don't understand.
At least open up to page 3, Pete, before you fucking do that, mate. Don't do that over Poch's face.
Ken, do you know why? Do you know why I slagged off the Poch era for not winning anything? Was because in the Poch era we had a bloody brilliant team, right? That is why we are so far removed from that now, Ken, that I would just take the good football. I'm not even worried about right now. I'm not even worried about this club winning trophies. We're so far away from it.
We need to
And
reset.
this is Sean, you know me, Sean. You know me. I've been for so long adamant.
Trophies are everything. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Now I'm at the point where I don't even want to win a trophy playing what we're watching. Not that we're going to anyway. So when you're saying you heard me slag off the Poch era, yeah, Poch had Walker, Rose, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Wanyama, right? But what I can say looking back now and having watched the Conte era is, Jesus Christ, give me that over this any day of the week.
This geezer sums it up. Sem Mehmet, I don't know if I said his name right, 1102. There you go. That's what we're watching. That is what we're watching. Tell me what's different between that and Pulis football. Yeah, is set pieces sitting about. That's why I said Savva earlier. The reason why Brian Hill didn't get on the pitch.
Pulis could set up a team to defend, though.
Yeah.
The difference is, though, right, is that the team that we have, like, just take Bissouma as an example. That guy right now is required to play in the 6 in the holding role to protect the back four from the disaster that they create for themselves. If you had a manager that played front foot football, you could see he's such a talented player. He could easily play in the box to box. He could even be like someone who creates goals. I know he never scored a goal for Brighton, but he did get like a dozen assists or whatever in his time there. His ability, you could see that guy with his talent merge into something else. The players that we have the propensity and the potential to be reforged into a unit. I know the defense needs to be worked on 100%. No one can doubt that the defense needs to be worked on. But everywhere else in the pitch, apart from 5 to 11, we're good enough to play great football. It's only 2 to 4 where we need real help.
But we could be a better, greater team than the sum of its parts. That's what
exactly
other managers have done.
Just quickly, guys.
Done at Brighton.
We're gonna go on. I'm gonna go on for another 9 minutes. We'll go for another 9 minutes. So, guys, let's start looking forward now. Let's start looking forward. We've got Leeds at the weekend at home. This now very much falls into the category of must win. Like for me, we cannot go into the World Cup having lost 3 games in a row. Can we?
We've lost 4 of our last 5, haven't we?
I don't even know what we've done anymore. It's that bad that they're all. The thing is, Sean, if you said to me, do you remember the performance against? It's the same as the performance before. So if we look at Spurs, our last 5 games, we have lost to Forest, lost to Liverpool, we beat Marseille and Bournemouth, we drew to Sporting, and we lost the 2 before that. So we've got 4 defeats with 1 Premier League win sandwiched in the middle, which was Bournemouth. That is disgusting.
And look at that.
Listen, Leeds are an animal right now that play brilliant attacking football. They're vulnerable at the back, but we could easily be taken to pieces by a couple of. If the good thing is that Bamford is that bad of a football player that he probably won't take his chances, but he'll have 3 or 4. He'll have 3 or 4 against them.
Come on, Dr. Tottenham. He'll get 5.
There is a must win, but every game's a must win. But listen, I don't know. I feel like it should prove to be a good, interesting, exciting game. Tottenham Leeds is always a great game of football. If this particular game Tottenham still can't find a way to play exciting football, then Lord help me, like I can't wait for the World Cup.
I think if we beat Leeds, it just postpones the inevitable. I know it sounds bad, but just do it. Just pull the plug. Don't kick it down the road any longer. How long are we going to learn from that?
I mean, you want Conte to go tomorrow morning, would you?
Well, yeah, because I don't see how it changes. Because he's not going to change. Yeah, he's not going to commit. What is the point? All we're doing is irreparable damage to the rest of the season and making things 10 times worse. We've got a January window coming up, which we need to do something in. So, who are you buying the players for?
Thank you very much for the super chat from Coys97. I mean, he said, I'd even take Poch back right now, and I was his biggest critic. And I think I've said something similar tonight. And the fact that I'm willing to go back to what didn't work just so that I don't have to watch what we're seeing right now tells me everything about this football club. What I am finding is what Conte has done. Conte, for me, if you just take us four in this room here, right? He's allowing people to actually be a bit more open-minded. And, you know, we've gone from Levy in, Levy out to probably meeting somewhere more in the middle. Not saying we don't want him out, some of us, but and then also Poch is allowing people to go, oh, okay, we're right. It's making people see things in a different narrative. Leeds Kuva, talk to me. They've apparently played a very rotated side tonight. I'm going to check to see what their team was. They like to press. They've had a couple of good results lately. I mean, tonight they played Fur, Helder, Ailing, Lorente, Firpo, Gayabi, Perkins, Gelhart, Fernandez, Click. I mean, does that mean that they're going to have their best players rested? Are you worried about it, Kuva? Are you worried about them?
Yeah, well, let's face it. They've got a midfield Rodrigo, isn't it? Doing all the damage. He's in my dream team. I think I'll be making him captain this week. Yeah, I think they're going to tear us to shreds. It's a matter of do they take their chances? I think we're going to get absolutely played off the park in the middle. I just think they've got way more energy than our team does. They'll be up for it. They'll be swarming all over us, and I don't think we're going to keep up with them. So it's going to come purely down to do they take their chances, or do we make our quality in some of our big name players count when we get a chance? Set pieces. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
we bloody are Tony Pulis in charge, aren't we?
We are.
It's long balls.
That's why Brian Hill can't get a game, because he's no good at set pieces. He won't be any threat. Do you know what I mean? He's too small.
Yeah, I mean,
he's picked all
guys,
the big players.
Let me get some predictions then. Look, Leeds at home. I mean, a month or so ago, Leeds were. I think they hadn't won a game in 7. We were
get the sack.
We were third and level on points with Man City at the time. We've just gone awful. They've won a couple of games in a row. What's gonna happen? Tell me, Sean.
I think that it will be a draw. I think, honestly, I never predict Tottenham not to win, but I genuinely think right now, best we can hope for, best I can envisage, not best we can hope, but best I can envisage is 2-2, something like that. I do think it'll be an interesting game, and it's usually a great game, but I just don't think we're going to have the stones to see it through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, can anyone put up a fight that they truly believe we're going to win just before we go?
No, home advantage, and Leeds aren't all that good.
But
home advantage has disappeared. The fortress has been completely penetrated, isn't it? Now, last 2 games.
Yeah. Fortress made a paper. This could be the game. I think if we suffer a defeat, I think we could hear the fans turning at the end, because remember, we're signing off for the World Cup with another defeat at home, and then we could start seeing some movement happening after that. If it's a real fuck, it could be like his Nuno moment. Do you know what I mean? Where the fans go into one, they're signed off again with a loss. Half time would be interesting. Put another half like we put in lately. I think even the biggest happy clappers will be going, hang on a minute, can't be having this anymore. But regardless what happening, I look forward to getting my email offering me free delivery if I spend £50 in the club shop on Saturday. I'll get one tomorrow. That's for sure.
Do you know what? What you do know for sure is this: if Conte does go, and look, we are going to finish the show, guys. But if Conte does go, Spurs will have something lined up to mail out to make people feel better. A new contract for someone. Alfie
Devine signed a new deal.
I don't know, something. But
outside toilet on the skywalk, something like that.
Yeah.
The Sky Bar's finally open. The Sky Bar, because that ain't opened yet, is it? That'll be finally open.
I'll
Look,
tell you what though. Before just last thing I'll say before you wrap up, Sav, Pete's made me really think tonight that if the inevitable is happening anyway, that Conte's likely not going to be here, at some point before the end of the season, it's better for him to go pre-January. It's better for him to go maybe after Sunday than it is to hang around and then delay the inevitable, because at least if it happens sooner, at least you can rip that Band-Aid off, and then whoever's in charge can find that next solution maybe, and then they can have the conversations with the players that we need in January under the new vision. Because if Conte's not going to be here anyway, you're never going to go and sign a Bastoni, because the first question Bastoni's going to ask, if that's who he wanted, is how long's Conte around for? And if the answer is, I don't know, then his answer is, well, then I'm not interested. So I'd rather if Conte's time is coming to its natural conclusion, better now than later, right? Because the window's just around the corner.
And let's be honest, just to add to that, Sean, if he carries on but isn't signing a new deal, he gets sacked in sort of March, February, like Mourinho did anyway. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? Because the performances will drop off a cliff even more than they are now. Because I can't be bothered. I'm not going to be here. Players can't be bothered because they know he ain't going to be here.
Yeah.
And it will happen. Why waste an opportunity?
Why waste a window waiting? Yeah,
it's half a season still played for.
I am gonna drop the show there. The last thing I'm gonna say is this. You know what? Everybody in the chat, I would be completely comfortable with Antonio Conte, and I would back him to the hilt and say how bad our defenders are. If he went at teams, and if we scored goals but lost games because we've given it a go, I can turn around, and I'm sure everyone else in this panel will turn around and go,
yeah, I would second that.
You know what? We're not winning games because we are terrible at the back. The problem is, if you sit back when you are weakest at the back, you are saying, right, we're not going to attack because we're worried about our defence, but we're inviting pressure on against that poor defence. It doesn't make sense to me. He hasn't tried anything. I'm going to say it right now. I don't care if he goes. I don't care. He is not he is not this god that everyone's painting him out to be. He's done well in his career, but let's be fair. We've had better managers. We will have managers in the future that play better football. Other than that,
we ain't winning a trophy with any of them anyway. So,
and to anyone that says we can't do it with these players, look at that second half against Liverpool. We bloody well can. We just don't.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what attack is the best form of defense. They say absolutely. Someone here has said to me, and we were 10th at Savva. I don't know when we were 10th. I don't know when that was, what that means. But okay. Look, at the end of the day, he'll never change his style. Guys, thank you very much. Sean, thanks so much for coming on, joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Pete, thanks as always. Sorry the football was poor. Kuva, as always, my wingman. Much love. We'll do this all again at the weekend. And
I can't wait.
I've never been more excited for an awful World Cup. Please, I just want these games to be over with. Much love. Thanks to everyone in the chat, all the super chats. Please subscribe to Sean at Spurs Talk Show, to Pete at North London is, Kuva for the Spurs Free Boys, the Free Spurs Boys, and subscribe to myself, Savva Talks Football. If you want to still continue watching debates, head over to Henry Wright. Henry and Stell are streaming right now. If you want to catch them, please go over there. Much love. See you later. Enoch and Levy out. Conte, see you later.
Everybody out.